everybody. Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another episode of Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Whoa. There I am. So, the game is about to start. It's Wayne Simmonds' 1,000th game. The Wayne train. Hence me screaming. He's out there for opening faceoff. Beginning shift. He's out there. Scarborough's own Wayne Simmonds with Michael Bunting, also Scarborough's own, and Jason Spezza. I don't know what part of the GTA he's from, I forget, but he's from wherever you want him to be, because he's Jason Spezza. And there's going to be a goal off the opening faceoff here, and everyone's going to lose their minds, because when Jason Spezza is on the opening faceoff, the Leafs score. Does anyone remember the 8-6 game against Carolina? Yes, you do. That's how that game began. That giant comeback of the Leafs actually started with a 3-0 lead that they blew. But we're going to ignore that. Ilya Lyubushkin with Travis Dermott. The Leafs doing a bunch of wild stuff in this game. Rasmus Sandin out with an illness. Andre Kasha out with an upper body injury. Nick Robertson on the second line. I believe there he is right there with William Nylander and John Tavares. Everyone out there to start this game. Kerfoot with Spezza and Simmonds. Nothing makes sense. Nothing. As they take on the Bruce, there it is, Vancouver Canucks. Holy smokes, did they start hot. With Bruce Boudreau behind the bench. They have since cooled down a bit. But they are still dangerous. And there's Petey. Here's Willie! And they both cannot generate a chance, but they threaten. They threaten. Liljegren, underratedly, with an enormous opportunity here. Nick Robertson is on the second line, yes. Liljegren is on the top pair with Morgan Riley, although you could argue the top pair tonight is Brody Hall. On account of they have much more experience collectively, or on average. It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
As a member of the Canucks 2 nights ago, flipped in by Garland.
Leave your comments in the chat, and producer Rob will get to them. Also say hi to producer Tom, and thank you to producer Stu.
Toronto, the last time Vancouver won here, which was
and also welcome producer Louise.
2011.
Hi, producer Louise. Oh my goodness, is that Bo Horvat? Okay, like.
Campbell covers up.
Well, you get your 1000th game
I know nothing really happened there.
You might as well make something happen. That was a pretty good shift for
I would like someone to be mean to Bo Horvat in that situation. Just be mean to him. There's Wayne Simmonds in a puck battle with Quinn Hughes. For any Leaf fans who love a good trade rumor, obviously you're going to pay attention to JT Miller. JT Miller sort of makes it difficult for you to not pay attention to him. There he is right there. But Luke Shen is on a pair with Quinn Hughes. Did you know that? He is. Here comes Biscuit.
Shovels a backhand wide of the net as Engvall plays on the right side with Camp.
Here Engvall back in the lineup. We will. Oh dear, 2-on-1 for the Canucks.
And a shot that's deflected up onto the screen.
Jack Campbell stops it and puts it out of play. Brock Besser grips it and rips it. JT Miller looking a little uncomfortable. I don't know what happened there. What happened in this breakdown? Justin Hall, the only guy back. Oh boy. Oh boy. Campbell makes the first stop of the game, and thank goodness, because stops have been difficult to come by for the All-Star. Oh! Simmons, if Simmons got a breakaway and scored, that building would need a new roof. Ilya Lyubushkin creating a little bit of drama and then solving it. And then Travis Dermott creating a little bit more. This game's a mess so far. For a game with one shot through 3.5 minutes, it's a mess. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends, you silly goose. From Sean, JT Miller for Tavares. Wait, what? JT Miller for Tavares JT for JT. Do you do it?
Canucks at the end of this
Sean?
4-game road trip. I thought a great recovery game against the New York Islanders after a difficult game, 7-2 loss against the Devils. They responded well, and you know when you
Someone get their boy Sean.
long trip back, you want to finish
No.
the road trip on a high note.
Morgan Riley's shot deflected.
I don't
by
trade my
Tavares on
captain
target.
just for the
Here's
memes.
Tavares behind the net, pushed off the puck, and it'll be flipped out to center.
Good memes there.
Riley 1 point shy of
We'll be
350
getting
in his
them
career.
clicks.
Had a strong game in that 3-2
Get in there, Robbie.
Vancouver win 3 weeks ago. Nylander at center.
Nick Robertson looking for his
Watched
first
by
career
Poulin,
NHL
and
goal,
the game
sort of.
winner.
He scored in the playoff bubble. So he scored in a playoff round that technically did not exist.
Scored 45 seconds apart. Here's
Oh, Matthews with an
swooping in.
opportunity there.
Into the
Scored in a
crease.
playoff round that technically did not exist, and he has not scored a regular season goal on account of
Nylander with the
keeps
tie
getting
goal,
injured
but Coles in the
and sent down.
winner against the Islanders. Bunting plays it back to
But we
Brody.
will figure
Now
that out.
Hall, and Matthews to the attack.
I want to get to your questions, but Matthews is on the ice, and you just got to kind of watch.
Against Vancouver.
Penalty?
Gets it back again.
But here he is again.
Dangle, and Demko stops that.
Oh,
Pedersen reverses
Matthews
it,
does
and
quite a
Tyler
good
Myers
job
will
against
take
Thatcher
over.
Demko in this building.
That was a really good
If I'm not mistaken, the last time the Canucks played in this building, in a packed barn anyway, because obviously last year Canadian division was quite different. But if I'm not mistaken, the last time the Canucks played in this building and it was full, that was the game Martin Marincin scored that ridiculous goal where he got his own rebound off the post. That's what that game is remembered for, but you might remember Matthews just sunning Thatcher Demko. I think he had a pair of goals in that game and the Leafs won 3-2. Oh!
Nice stop there by
Engvall looking
Demko.
dangerous
Puck was
early
loose
on.
momentarily, but Demko able to cover.
Like it.
Demko trying to get his glove clear to get a hold of that one.
There's
So much
not
focus
getting
on
traded for
Tavares
JT Miller,
coming
John
in from
Tavares.
his goal-scoring slump.
Dude.
That's one way to do it. Get to
Oh.
the front of the net. Here's a
Robbie,
nice little
get that
tip
stick
there.
down, bud.
This is the good pinch read, as so often you get in quickly and surprise along the boards. That creates the
I love when
second
Matthews
chance.
just
So Demko with
rages
his
on the
first
puck.
big save. You can see the puck is still
Michael,
there.
if you're
His
Kyle
glove
Dubas,
was wrapped
okay,
around
so
his own
I'm taller,
defenseman's skate, and he
I'm
wasn't able
I have way more money,
right away.
I'm so much more handsome. Anyway, if you're Kyle Dubas, are you freaking out internally or externally? If I'm Kyle Dubas, I'm not freaking out at all because nothing surprises me.
Out of their zone as Jason
This dude
sends
has
it in.
worked for the Leafs organization since 2014.
Horvat to the line.
I'm sorry, what exactly would you be surprised by if you were him? Get in there, Spets!
Toronto this year was not in the lineup in COVID protocol for the last game. Here comes Horvat.
There's pressure.
Over the line.
Don't get me wrong,
Backhand
there's
look across
pressure.
the goal mouth.
But,
Coulson, nice
during the
pass.
summer-
Jason
oh, dear.
and a glove stop by
Stop
Campbell,
by
and the
Campbell. Let's get the
pursuit chant of
swoop in the
night.
chat.
You got to think everybody in the building looking to see, okay, how is Campbell going to settle into this game? Another odd man
Not
rush
the
that
greatest turnover.
creates this second chance. Good box out by Dermott on Horvat
Dubas in the
front.
offseason
All Campbell's got to do, as Sheldon Keefe said, he's had
seemed
plenty
to
of time
have
work on
already
the mental
made
part of the
peace
game, shake it off. He's had a couple
with
of
what
rough
this
outings,
season is going to be.
but gotta go back to a couple of games ago here against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I thought he was
And the Leafs are
razor sharp.
certainly not
Back to
perfect.
that. That's
But
the
they've
mindset
been a
you have
top
to
5
have.
NHL team
Recollect what it felt like in those kind of games.
almost
Two
all
strong games
season.
in a row, and then 3 in which he has
You know,
allowed
sometimes they
14
drop to
goals.
6th, 7th,
Didn't
8th.
make it to the
Whoa!
end of last Saturday's game against Detroit.
Oh!
That puck
You
sent
almost
through
ended
the
up on
goal
Dangle there,
crease.
Thatcher.
Brody, and now Robertson to Tavares. Lost
Oh.
the puck in front of the net.
Oh, that
and
was
it
a slick
gets
little move by
flipped back
JT.
Well, I thought he could have shot right away, and I think once
There's
he did,
Nick
he-
Robertson,
passing
shifty
lane
little
never opened up,
move.
He wasn't able to make the play he wanted to.
Nice play by
And he gives the
Robertson,
Leafs
got
a
it
little bit of
back
life.
to
I think he just
Tavares,
head
and
for
now
the bench.
Brody in, and that went
Wow!
over the net.
That scoring
As the Leafs
opportunity
get a
there
rush
by
chance,
TJ Brody in
TJ
this second
Brody
line
moving up.
all starts from Nick Robertson's
Once
little
again, after they-
shifty
the
play there,
Canucks
sort
really
of in
tried
the
to
neutral
stretch
zone
the ice.
at the Leafs
Garland
blue
went-
line.
As soon as that puck was there, right up high.
Oh, no penalty, good.
Larson spun out, and now Marner on it.
I hope the
Taken away,
broadcast shows that
Bunting gets
replay
it
because that was
back,
awesome.
feeds the
Actually,
point,
I hope they
Lundgren.
don't show the replay because I hope the
Bunting
Leafs
puts
score
it
here.
right up.
Ah!
Highmore there to clear it out
I was
of
almost
harm's way,
right.
but the Leafs
Remember
get
the
it
last
back.
time we did one of
And
these
that
streams,
pass
it was
broke up as
10-7.
Morgan Riley regroups at center and
17
flips it
goals.
back
We're
down
already
into the Vancouver zone.
behind the pace.
7 minutes into the opening period.
We're not on pace for 17 goals right now. We're on pace for 0. We'll see if that improves. Michael Bunting almost gets one.
Said
This does not feel like a game with 5 shots.
To happen in the first period, so both teams were a little anxious coming into this game. How it might start.
Well, they haven't been
Jack feeling saucy.
37 goals, and
if I seem like I have more energy tonight, it's because I do. And a nap? I never have a nap. It was great.
Riley up on the left side. It gets past McKay. Hamonic for Pearson. The former Barry Colt along the boards, and David Kemp trying to play it away from Pearson. Gave it up, and here's Besser. Sends it back to Hunt.
Vancouver with a little bit of zone time here.
A rebound in front, scores. JT Miller stays red hot.
I really did think it was a good start too. That's a shame, man. It's a problem with this team
Jack Campbell, this has really been
that when the puck is in deep in their zone, it stays there. This is that top pair of Riley Liljegren. I think Miller is the one who gets the tip here. Oh yeah, that's a mess. That's just a mess. You want Riley out on the ice. You want this line on the ice to shut them down. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough, man.
Well, he opened the scoring 3 weeks ago.
And JT Miller continues some high-event hockey against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That guy eats the Leafs up, and he gives up a lot, too. Matthews ate him alive a couple times last season.
Now in 8 games in a period.
Some of the amazing plays from last season don't stick out as much in memory because there's no pop. There's the fake arena noise. Jack!
Nylander up with it. Too far for Tavares.
There's the fake arena noise, but it's just not the same.
Quinn Hughes back as both teams make changes.
Rick, how much pressure is on Jack? An enormous amount of pressure, and it's not because he's Jack, and it's not because he's been playing poorly lately. It's because he's the starting goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this team has literally for my entire life been a nightmare defensively. Anyway, we'll be right back after this. We're going to break. Don't go away. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm that guy. That's my name. It's on the show, and it's me. And the Leafs are down 1-0. Unfortunately, I don't think they've looked bad so far. They've had their chances. They haven't necessarily hit the net with those chances. I feel like we're sort of used to seeing that in the first 10 minutes or so. The Leafs generate things that look visually dangerous, but they don't necessarily, put the puck where it's supposed to be. They have a breakdown in front, way too soft in front of the net, and JT Miller is able to get a piece of a puck that beats Jack Campbell, who you asked just before the break, how much pressure is on Jack Campbell? A lot. And I'll repeat myself. It's not because he's Jack Campbell. It's not because he's been struggling lately. It's because he's the starting goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The starting goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know what? Not unlike the starting goalie for the Vancouver Canucks, has always been an extremely high pressure scenario. Now, if you're good, everyone loves him. But it's still very much a what have you done for me lately position. Felix Potvin, he faced the most shots in the entire NHL at least 1 year with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Curtis Joseph was taxed with winning several playoff series essentially on his own. There was a year where the Senators, I think, had a 7-1 record against the Leafs in the regular season. Sens were the second seed. Leafs were the 7th, and the Leafs swept them because Cujo was ridiculous. Belfour, Reimer, Anderson, the list goes on and on. It's extremely high pressure. John Tavares drawing the penalty there as the Leafs head to their first power play.
And this power play brought to you by Kit Kat Chunky, made for hunger now.
Let's see how they do.
Chunkier. Maple Leafs looking for their first power play goal in 8 games. They're 0 for 13 over the last.
The Leafs better find a way to get Nick Robertson out on PP2. Oh, there was a nice little tip. I don't like what they've been doing with him. I know he's getting the big shot on the second line tonight. But to me, there's no point calling this player up, throwing him on the 4th line and playing him like 5.5 minutes a game. Who does that benefit? Does it make the Leafs better now? Does it make him better later? Whoa, here we go. We got a chance. Woo! Goal! Johnny Toronto! What slump? Slump? You ever heard of a slump? Unreal shot. Because he's an unreal player. Yeah, buddy. That's my captain. I love it. I love the swagger. All from a broken play, too. Morgan Riley does a good job recovering here. Tavares corrals it. Marner gives it to him. I would, too. Pew, pew, pew. What a shot against one heck of a goalie. And the relief on his face. The captain on the board. And so are the Leafs. Tie game. 1-1. I love it. Sorry, what I meant to say was, I hope Nick Robertson doesn't play a moment on the power play this game, because PP1 is going to score before PP2 has a chance to get out there. And just like that, it's tied, and we all feel better. Still not on pace for 17 goals.
And a power play that suddenly now breaks their 7-game slump to the longest they've had all year.
Right now, the game is on pace to end. I don't know. Don't make me do math. Just let me make my joke. Tavares is 18th of the season. Shen is just using Pierre Engvall as a drying rack. I don't think you're allowed to do that. It's been a while since I read the rule book. John Tavares. Beautiful. And the Leafs are on the board 1-1. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. How about I get to the chat? Killian, Vezina picks. Can I pick Igor Shesterkin 3 times? Like, listen. We're having a heart conversation. Like, Matthews is in there. Shesterkin is in there. I saw some, like, Norris discussion. The Vezina discussion isn't one. Like, Demko's been very good. Oh, Markstrom has been extremely good. Off the top of my head, he's the only other goalie. But even, oh boy, he has not put the Flames on his back the way Shesterkin has for the Rangers. And that's not a shot at Markstrom. Shesterkin's ridiculous. He's doing historic stuff. He's got like a 940 save percentage. It's March. When you have numbers like that, they're not supposed to sustain, and they've gotten better. He's absolutely silly, ridiculous. So, yeah, I'd love to give you my Vezina picks, but all 3 of them are him. Groot. Oh, Groot Gaming. Would it benefit the Leafs to get an enforcer? Dude, no. Like, they have 2. Kyle Clifford is on the roster currently. He's not in the minors. They have Kyle Clifford. They have Wayne Simmons. To me, it's not about do they or don't they have an enforcer. Man, it's tough. I want the Leafs to get better at being physical in front of their own net. They do a decent job being physical in front of the other team's net. They've certainly gotten better this season. They got guys who can fight. Whoa! And they got guys who are not known for fighting but will fight. But what the Leafs need, I don't think you can fix with one trade. I don't. Like, the line of Jay McClement, who was not an enforcer at all, Colton Orr and Fraser McLaren, like, that doesn't work in 2022. That doesn't work. The Leafs, I mean, they better have the best penalty kill in the NHL if they go back to something like that.
Winning the draw, a little delay. That's kind of a shot pass as he saw Tavares all by himself.
I'm fascinated to see what Dubas does, because I think he has assembled one of the best regular season teams in the NHL, and that doesn't really do him any favors in the playoffs. It's fascinating. But tonight, it's Leafs Canucks, March 5th. There will be a winner, there will be a loser. And I think that's the way the Leafs got to look at it. Also, I feel like they're sacrificing a little bit through experimentation. Like, I don't really think they're necessarily playing their best roster every night, because they want to see what's going on. Jared Bednar, I thought, had a great quote. I want to say it was last week, head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. He put Andre Burakovsky on, I think it was the top line, and a reporter asked him why, and he's like, well, in the playoffs, weird stuff happens, and I want to see if it works, basically. Sheldon Keefe sort of did that last game. He put Sandin with Riley. Why not? See if it works. It didn't. But at least you got an answer. That's not so bad. Also, Riley Sandin is not the reason the Leafs lost their last game to the Buffalo Sabres. They lost their last game to the Buffalo Sabres because the whole team stunk. They look a little bit more like themselves so far tonight. Whoa! Reverse hit. I didn't see who that was, but they took Liljegren right out. Matthews! Oh! Man, this top line. They are humming. Man, I want to see a replay of whatever the heck that was in the Leaf zone. Jack Campbell. Out to play it. He's been out to play it quite a bit tonight. Wayne Train!
Simmons unable to get loose. Kerfoot playing on this line now.
I need him to score.
As Sheldon Keefe talked about trying to get more out of his fourth line.
Out of the way, ref.
Comes back to Hamonic. He sends it in front and looking for a tip.
Again.
Highmore and Mock.
Front of the net. Teams are looking for it. Because they should.
Before checking of Highmore. Simmons left it there, and now
dear.
Get it out.
Keefe needing more from his fourth line because Bruce Boudreau has one that he trusts a lot, and they'll play a lot. This might be more
so, like what I was saying with,
typically get into, and good balance on
I don't know if the Leafs are necessarily icing their best roster. So, is it better? What gives you a better chance of winning tonight's game? Kerfoot on the second line? On the left wing, or Nick Robertson? The answer's Kerfoot. Oh, here we go. The answer's Kerfoot. But you have to see what you have with the Kings. You have to. Also, imagine Kerfoot's on your fourth line in the playoffs. All of a sudden, you look much better. And he'll get his ice time, too. He's on PP2. Good penalty killer. He's usually out there killing the final few minutes of the game. Quite a good pace to this. Woo!
Couldn't redirect that, and back the other way is Pearson.
Only 12 shots in this game, but it's definitely felt like more than that. Here come the Canucks. Good block there by Hall. Tavares loses his stick. Campbell stops it. Watch the penalty. Watch the penalty.
Now a shot whistles high over the net.
Canucks with a flurry.
Allowed to come out of the corner.
This game's great.
Had some room there too.
Always a carnival on Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. See, this is what I was talking about. See? The shot attempts, 15-7 for the Leafs. It feels like they're doing more because they are. And 8-4 doesn't quite do it justice.
Here in the first period. Under 6 to go here in the first period of play.
It's also to the Canucks' credit that they've sort of been able to tame the Leafs a bit. That was a nice little play at the blue line for the Canucks.
Hunt across and Miller's shot off Campbell and the outside of the key.
That was a weird bounce for JT Miller's shot there.
JT Miller in that high zone, 2 good chances, one a shot pass, and that last one just a deflection off the stick.
At some point tonight, if the pace slows down a bit, coffee is good, you can tell. Might tell a couple Wayne Train stories. But here comes Austin Matthews, who has looked dangerous basically every time he's had the puck. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good he's on the team that I cheer for. Isn't it fun? Get in. Isn't it fun? Like, imagine not having him. You remember, right? It was sad. Canucks with a almost but not really breakaway. The best kind of breakaway to give up. Matthews and Lyubushkin. Oh my.
Pretty eventful shoot. And he's got it back in the Vancouver.
This dude rules.
He'll send it deep and
I'll cheer for anything he does. What a dump in! You're unbelievable! Oh.
Myers gets it back and flips it out. Ball played it to the Vancouver line.
Ended up turning it over, but that was actually kind of a crafty play.
Myers moving in, lost it, and Alex Kerfoot's there for the Leafs.
That's what most scouts say about my game at Shinny. He ended up turning it over, but I like the idea.
Back in come the Canucks.
Oh no.
And a glove stop by Campbell.
Jack Campbell with the stop. Man, oh man. It's funny, like, it doesn't really feel like the Leafs give up that many opportunities, but when they do, they're really good ones. Oh, looky what I found. He didn't even know that he grabbed that thing. 1-1 game. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Or just some of them. You know? No, tell all of them. Whitecaps. Thoughts on Demko? I mean, gee, can you have thoughts other than he's extremely good? You know, there was a time, I guess in the Vegas Canucks series in the bubble, where I was like, yeah, I mean, he's really good, but he's also extremely young. You know, how are they gonna, you know, support him? Last year they did a real bad job of that. This year, he's proved to be what we all thought he would be when we were watching him somehow force Game 7 against Vegas. He's an elite goaltender. He's certainly top 10 in the league this season, probably top 5. And that slump where the Canucks were just unwatchable, I was about to say you can't really count his performances in those games, but like, for as bad as the Canucks were through like October, November, and parts of December, like, he was fine. He was fine. He's a great goalie. And I think what gets lost on the Canucks, yeah, they've made some dumb decisions for sure, but they also have a pool of mostly young talent with wild upside. And what team doesn't want a core that's young with wild upside and an elite goalie? Like, that feels like you're always like a couple bounces away from a playoff spot, which means you're a few bounces away from winning a round, maybe 2. And then who knows? I mean, you also got to make the team better. It's kind of important. We're back to the game. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first period. Pierre Engvall on the right wing of the alleged shutdown line has been all over it tonight.
They've handled the puck well, and he just pops out.
David Kampf is a face-off monster. I cannot believe how good of an addition someone I had never heard of before he was signed has been for the Leafs. I really thought that was a Galaxy Brain signing, and he's been so good.
Previous 2 games and a pair of shots for Engvall so far tonight.
Lost on that awful Buffalo Sabres performance on Wednesday, which was now a few days ago, is this team has been battling obviously some sort of illness. They haven't really said what it is. I think we all sort of suspect it's a stomach bug, but we don't know. Now that they've had time to recover, you definitely expect better than what they offered the other night against the Sabres. Did he hold on to that? Mitch Marner held on to that. Michael Bunting in the corner. Oh, in front! What a stop by Demko on Justin Hall. That angle was a great look at that save. Nifty play. Oh my God. This game is a carnival. As Jack, looking calm and looking poised tonight, gets that in his glove. I want another look at this save.
Down low, when you've got the Matthews line threat, there's the little wobble.
Oh, can't believe Marner held that in. Probably threw the Canucks off. Bunting in front of Hall. He doesn't get all of it.
This has worked to open up a lane for Vancouver very much in the offensive zone. We saw JT.
You laughed.
There, and with an
your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. This is Toronto Maple Leafs. And I cheer for them.
That one is blocked.
I get it. No judgment. 3 minutes to go in the first period. It's 1-1. Canucks with the puck in the Leaf zone.
Covering the point was Miller, and that shot
I was saying boo.
is covered by Campbell.
All right, we got another whistle here. Don't forget to click like. Don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to tell all your friends. Justin, how strong is the Canucks-Leafs rivalry? I really like that. Between teams, I always thought there sort of was one, and I feel like last year in the bubble, we thought it would create blood feuds between all the Canadian teams, and the Leafs-Canucks rivalry sucked. It was really bad. The Leafs killed them most games, except for those 2 games where the Canucks had like a month off, and Braden Holtby stole the show. Remember those? Uh-oh.
The shot off the stick.
But like, yeah, not particularly nasty. The rivalry exists between the fan bases.
Play it to the Vancouver line and get a change as Myers sends it red line
and it's different than Montreal. It's different than Ottawa. Because it's twice a year. That's it. Canucks, Flames, Oilers, Jets. Twice a year. That's it. Whoa! If you're a Canucks fan in Toronto, you're at this game. It's the only time you can see him. If you're a Leaf fan in Vancouver, you're going. Canucks, again, when the puck is in the Leaf zone, it's there to stay. Big block by Engvall. I think he's having a great game. Kampf picks it off. Engvall battles and gets it just over the blue line.
Back in the shooting lane there and able to stop that good chance. Kyle talked about Pettersson and his hot streak, 14 points in the last 10 games. At times you think, okay, Kampf thinks he has him, but he does
Kampf did a great job sticking with Petey there.
Trying to get the angle on him, but unable to get completely around and get that shot on goal.
Elias Pettersson in his last 10 games, 6 goals, 14 points. Who would have thought that an elite hockey player would not forget how to play hockey? I love how many people were like, "Uh-oh, I don't know if Petey's ever going to get."
Back in behind the Leaf net. Highmore knocked down. Lamico to the point, and that'll stick to Campbell on the long-range shot by Travis Hamonic.
Well, so much focus on Jack Campbell, and You know, the pregame, you have rituals where guys go in and talk to him. I felt today, usually you see Marner doing a little bit of hand tapping and that before warm-up and then before the start of the game. And it was kind of noticeable that everyone just left him alone.
Well, we had our first freeze. I think Jack Campbell had his first freeze right there. He didn't even move. On Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Our apologies and thank you for your patience through these technical difficulties. Last week we only had 2.
20, 25 haven't been nearly as effective.
Which, I mean, if you have been watching over the last month, that's pretty good. Progress. We like progress. We stand. So we're at 1. Hopefully, 1 more max. If we keep it at 1, that's progress.
And then he had to clarify, I'm joking, but he knows that Hunt can shoot the puck. Here's Horvat, and Campbell came across.
Oh, Jack Campbell having to be a little aggressive there as the puck went wide. Final 30 seconds here. Leafs scrambling, and it's in. It's in. Chase on. Again. It's do whatever you want in front of the net, buddy. Sell that jersey.
Here's one for Campbell. He makes a heck of an effort through traffic.
Just do whatever you want.
And get there and make a good save on Horvat. And now
I think Matthews might have got there to block it. Justin Hall.
Campbell goes down and that
TJ Brody just like when everyone's healthy, that dude's on the top pair.
We'll have to get an official warning. I think that's all Brody.
Like, do you think there's a move Dubas can make at the deadline that'll make their identity not this? I don't.
So we'll see if Hamonic gets credit.
Like, they might be better doubling down on what they already are, which is an extremely high-octane team, as Jack Campbell gives it away. 2 goals in the final 30 seconds would not be good. As the Leafs dump it, and we'll get an icing. Not a good final 30 seconds at all by the Toronto Maple Leafs, who overall had a pretty good period, man. Overall, they had a pretty good period. Outshot attempts, and they fall apart in these little clumps. The Canucks are now outshooting the Leafs. Yeah, Brody knows. That's a shame.
The one thing Vancouver's done a lot of, Chris, is those points from the shots from the point have really been effective, and especially with traffic.
Riley looking to kill out the clock. Is that going to be ice? Yeah. Oh boy. Well, a good period overall. An exciting period to watch, definitely. But in terms of their performance, that's a tough one. That's a tough way to end the period. 2-1 Vancouver Canucks after the. This is Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. We got some original content, folks. We'll be right back.
I said it off the top of today's show that my time in sports, like 27 years in this business and the rest of my life as a wannabe athlete in a crazy sports family, there are 3 sayings that have stayed tried, tested, and true. They are as follows. The difference between good and great is consistency. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And special players make special plays on special days. Marie-Philippe Poulin embodies them all. And I'm not sure how many people I can say that about. I may be counting on one hand kind of thing. I'll just flat out say it. One of my favorite players on planet Earth, regardless of sport, joins me now, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Marie-Philippe Poulin. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Quite introduction, let me tell you.
Not bad. I don't do that for many people, but let me tell you, it is due in your case.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
It feels like gold medal number 3 was like a couple days ago, but have you had some time to like let it sink in? Like, have you put on all 3 gold medals and just like sauntered around the house yelling, "What's up?" or, you know, "Allons-y, let's go." Like, what are we doing here with the 3 gold medals?
Actually, I've not done that yet.
No.
I eventually gonna take a look for sure. But it's been a great 2 weeks just being able to enjoy it with some of my family and friends. And no, it goes by fast. Already been 2 weeks, but still on climb now for sure.
Are you the type of person that's always pushing forward, or can you take a step back and realize like what you've accomplished over the last decade and a bit?
It's funny you say that. I feel I have to tell myself a lot of times to just take a breather and take a step back and realize a little bit of my career. I think it's been pretty surreal. Pretty lucky, to be honest, been surrounded by so many great players and everything I've accomplished so far. But I do have to take a step back sometimes and realize what just happened for sure.
We're showing your ridiculous resume. I read that you don't like talking about yourself. Is that true?
It's very true. So that's why I was a little caught off guard with that introduction. That's for sure.
Okay, so let me do it for you as if I already have it. But whether it's Captain Clutch or special players make special plays on special days, it's amazing to read off the numbers. And I've done it a couple times, whether you've been on the show or not. You've now scored in every gold medal game that you've played in at the Olympics. That's 4 of them. You're the only player ever, male or female, to do that at the Olympic Games. And not just scored, but scored the goals. 3 gold medals, and you've scored the game winner in every single one of them. What do you think when I say stuff like that?
Pretty awesome to hear, not gonna lie, but pictures, these girls are the reason why that happens. I've been so lucky in my career to be surrounded by so many great players. I started my career to play with my idols, where I watch on TV. Those are women that paved the way for all of us. And for all those years, we created such a great culture on this team. And the last one was very special. I got to play, I had the chance to play with Jenna and Nurse, and they made me look good out there. And it's great. It's awesome. It's hard to put into words, but it's a pretty awesome feeling for sure.
How cool is it to see Nurse set a record for the Olympic Games and points in total for Sarah?
Unbelievable. I was so happy for her. She's had a tough year for sure with an injury. The way she came back was unbelievable. She took that from game 1 at the Olympics, and she just went all the way through, and truly happy, and it's really an honor to have the chance to play with her.
Okay, so Cammy Granato, who's a Hall of Famer, and on the other side, that American side, said, and I quote, "I don't know one other women's hockey player that is in that many big situations and is that clutch. She's the one." She's talking about you. She says, look up clutch in the dictionary, and it's her. There's her picture. There's no disputing that. I had Anne-Renee Desbiens on the show along with Natalie Spooner, and I asked how the hell you do it. They didn't have an answer. So do you know how this moment always seems to find you in the clutch?
That's a great question. I still ask myself, to be honest, when things happen like that. It's quite surreal. Not gonna lie, I love to do extra reps. I love to work hard on and off the ice. Sometimes just doing an extra rep, I tell myself one day it's gonna happen, it's gonna pay off, and it does. And sometimes you don't see it right away. Sometimes there is hardship. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty lucky that we got a couple gold medal last in my career, but there is hard work there. There is tough shit. There is tough moments where you ask yourself why. You don't always see the hardship, but when you have the right people around you, when you surround yourself with the right group, I think things can go a long way, and that hard work is going to pay off at some point.
The more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in competition, I believe is the saying. Is there anything that you do in those moments? Like I've talked to a lot of great athletes in my time, and I love when kids are watching and they'll come up to me at like my kids' hockey games or baseball games, and they'll ask me about a certain player and certain conversations. So for the kids watching right now, like, put yourself in that moment. Like, I have a couple books full of quotes of people who are smarter than me, and one of the quotes is, the more relaxed you are, the better you are at everything. And I think it's actually Bill Murray who said it. So what's been the key for you in those big moments? Like, do you understand what you do well in those moments?
Well, I think it's fair you say that, because if you look back at this last Olympic, the group that we had, we played with so much fun. We played with a big smile on our face through tough times, through fun time. We just had that smile and that confidence through it all. And obviously it was not all of a sudden that happened. It was a 4-year process, and I think that's what I realized too. Since the last Olympic to this one, think last Olympic we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we kind of played a little bit scared and shy and not really confident at that moment. And I think 4 years later, it was a whole process where we changed the whole culture from our GM Gina to our coaching staff to the players, where we were confident. We were having fun through those big games, and I think that made a big difference. From like you saw it throughout all the Olympics, like the girls were smiling on the bench, were celebrating each other's success, and this group was very special. And I think we're bringing that gold medal with this group is something that it's hard to put into words. That's for sure.
You guys even had fun in warm-ups.
We sure did. That always.
That's awesome. Did the little hockey star who grew up 45 minutes out of Quebec City ever think that she would be able to do what you've done in the last little while? We have pictures of one of the rinks that you grew up playing in.
Yeah, that's where it all started. I think that's where community comes in, and that's when it all comes back to being able to go back to your community where it all started, being able to share that gold medal with them. I'm not the only one. All of us have a special bond with our community and families, and that's where it all started. And being able to bring it back to our small towns, it's always special.
And I think that's a big part of why you're a part of Kraft Hockeyville. And nominations are now open for Kraft Hockeyville to win $250,000 in upgrades towards a local arena. What has that community in Boussville meant to you and your growth as a hockey player? If I pronounced it right, and if I didn't, I apologize to my mom, who's from Quebec.
Hey. It was great friendship. I think obviously that ring that you saw, that's where it all started. With my brother, with my minor hockey, that's where it all happened. Having my family in the stands, and obviously Kraft Hockey, that's why it's very special. That community brings, hockey brings community together. And I think it's huge. And when I'm able to go back, obviously you get away a little bit from your community when you have to travel, when you go to school. But truly, when you take the time to go back and say thank you to people that really helped you through it all, I think it's huge. And I think it's hard to put into words, because hockey really brings community together, and that's what Kraft Hockey is all about.
Awesome. From the past to the future, Marie-Philippe, there's a lot of talk about your future in the hockey world. You got a few opportunities in front of you these days?
I haven't really sat down yet, but obviously I have a couple text messages that I need to reply soon. But obviously I'm just taking a little bit of time myself and enjoying the moment. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. But we'll stay in the present right now.
I mean, obviously the way you're playing, you have some real good years in hockey left in you, wherever you want. I mean, listen, 2026 isn't that far away. I don't want to get you that far ahead, especially when I think you got a little bit of a sunburn because you're in the sun right now and enjoying a bit of a vacation. But when hockey is done, at least playing for you, do you see yourself working in women's hockey? Do you see yourself working in the NHL? Like, what do you see in the future if you allow yourself to look that far?
Yeah, I would love to be involved in hockey. I think hockey is a huge part of my life. It's been there. I love it. That's what wakes me up in the morning. It still is my passion. I love it. So try to keep playing as long as I can, if I can keep up with the youngster. And obviously after my career, I would love to be involved in terms of coaching and management. Anything that can be involved in hockey, that's something I would truly love to do.
Do you see a fifth Olympics in your future?
If the body can keep up, if the mental is still there, I would love that. I still love it. It's still there, so we'll go one year at a time.
All right, when Spooner joined us here on the show with Desbiens, I asked Natalie for like the 3rd or 10th or 23rd time about a pro league and a sustainable pro league. Do you feel like we're getting close to a sustainable pro women's hockey league?
It is coming. I truly believe it's coming very shortly. Obviously, great things takes time. I think we're all aware of that with women's hockey. The dialogue is always the same every 4 years when we talk about it, when people are so excited about watching us at the Olympics. But I think we got to change that. We got to change that to every year be excited about watching the women's game. And I think it's going to come. I think we got to be a little bit more patient. We have the right people in place. We create an association with the PWHPA where we have the right people that supports us. And we truly believe it's going to happen soon.
Awesome. Listen, if you got 1/10 of the viewers that you get at the Olympics, that would be a sustainable pro league like this. Before I let you go, though, and this has been fun, this is a true story. My son keeps asking me to rent an RV when this pandemic thing is all done and take a long road trip through Canada and the United States of America, stopping at different arenas and ballparks. This is like his dream. He's plotted out all of the stops along the way. I heard that you got an RV. Is that the off season for you? Like, are you just cruising like my son dreams of?
To be honest, I love it. It was a dream of mine to, at a young age, just have an RV and travel around. And obviously, it's a little bit busy, but eventually, if your son have that map, I would love to have it so I can go through his map.
Is that the near future? Like, just get behind the wheel and let go?
Why not? I love it. Yep.
Awesome. Hey, listen, this was fun, a real treat for me. Thanks so much for coming on the show. And if you ever want to come back, maybe drum up support for that professional league that we may see in the near future. If you want to just take some shots on me or Jesse, who was a former goalie, our door is always open, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tim. Thanks for all your support. We truly appreciate it.
Not a problem whatsoever, and thanks for doing this.
MPP in the place to be, Marie-Philippe Poulin. Is there anything she can't do? Yes, lose. Hey! Canucks have a 2-1 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs. We don't like that, but what we like is that there are 40 more minutes to play, maybe more, on this Hockey Night in Canada game. Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Vancouver Canucks. On Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle, I'm Steve Dangle. Be silly if it was someone else. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. I got some questions from you, and the Canucks were rude and scored and made it so that I couldn't continue to answer them. So I'm going to try to get through those. Albert. Yes, Albert. This is what I needed a little bit of the internet for. Will the Canucks sneak into a playoff spot? Now, I believe just before or just after Christmas, I said yes. The Canucks were awful, and then they won 7 straight. And I thought they were going to ride a little bit of that Bruce Boudreau magic. Now, the Canucks are not far out of a playoff spot by any stretch of the imagination. They have 60 points in 56 games. The Nashville Predators are the last playoff team in the West with 64 points in 54 games. So 4 points ahead, 2 games in hand. Not great, but attainable. Here's the problem. You got the Oilers, who also have 64 points. You have the Ducks in there, who have 61, although the Canucks have a game in hand on them. And then there's the Canucks. Jets aren't far behind the Canucks. Sharks, I don't think you need to worry about. Reimer's out. There are going to be sellers at the deadline. More and more players keep getting brought up. It's not just the amount of points the Canucks are out of the playoffs. It's the teams they have to leapfrog. And if there are any Jets fans watching this right now, they're in this discussion too. Like that's a lot. You gotta not just pass Nashville, but you have to pass the Oilers, and the Ducks. The Ducks, by the way, who are falling, but have been in the playoff picture basically all season. So is this what the Ducks are, or is their 3-6-1 run over their last 10 an anomaly? Dallas has gotten ridiculously hot, 7-2-1. Vegas was falling hard. Now they have Eichel. It's not looking good for the Canucks, but they're playing games that matter. They're playing games that matter 56 games in, which, let's be totally honest, it didn't look like they were going to do. When they fired Travis Green, it did not look like they were going to do that at all. So do they sneak into the playoffs? It wouldn't stun me, but I'm going to err on the side of probably not. There's some really good teams in there. Bradley, you have 10 seconds to grab something nearby and tell a quick story. What do you pick? Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That's a great game. Oh, we should do that every show. I love that game. Okay, so here's what I chose to grab. Okay. This is a Leafs Matryoshka, I think they get called babushka dolls. Russian doll, basically. This one says made in Russia, but it was sent to me from a viewer from Mongolia. So I received this in a package from a YouTube viewer from Mongolia. This is Nazem Kadri. Let's see who's the next one. I don't even remember. Okay. Wow! Okay, so you can see the jersey. So you already know this is from a different era. I'm going to keep doing this at the beginning of the second period. The second one is P.A. Parento. And who else do we got? How many do we got? We have Leo Komarov, Estonia/Finland's finest, Olympic gold medalist Leo Komarov, Tyler Bozak, and is there one more? Let me see. It's tight. I haven't opened this in a very long time. Oh, it's so small. Ah, Reimer. There you go. Wayne Simmons almost getting one. That would have been amazing.
Back to the line for Dermott. Plays it off the
Someone lost a glove. Who lost a glove? How do you lose a glove?
Wheeling away with it is Quinn Hughes. Here's Hughes into Leaf ice, but an offside and a change underway at the Vancouver pitch with a lot of traffic.
Well,
whose glove is that?
Ceremonial start for the second period, and it's Sheldon Keefe that goes.
I was too busy having fun.
Again. It almost pays off, just a little bit off.
I just noticed there is a note inside.
Felt the pressure on his back, did a nice
In the
job
note,
with a little
I don't know if
spin
you're able to read it, but it says, "See, this is a Reimer that you can keep." So I think this person, again, from Mongolia, that's where I received this from, sent me this doll, toy, shortly after the Leafs traded James Reimer to the San Jose Sharks. So there. I like that game, because I straight up panicked. I didn't know what to grab, and that was the first thing I grabbed. For the first 5 seconds, you get really picky. And those second 5 seconds sneak up on you real quick.
With the hat trick in a overtime victory against Winnipeg. Nick looking to start producing like that.
Willie busting through. Let's go.
Holds on
Oh! Great patience from William Nylander and an even better stop from Thatcher Demko. Great determination to split the D. Robertson finds him. That's a good read from the kid. Willie tries to draw the call from Ekman Larson.
A quick little shot here as he goes backhand to forehand. Instead, he's got to slide across.
Yeah, Willie sort of just ran out of room there.
With his arm and then get it in his glove to get the face off.
But a decent little start to the second period for the Leafs, who trail the Vancouver Canucks 2-1.
He moves to the center in front.
Oh!
A tip, a rebound.
Great opportunity for Riley, who sneaks in. And the Leafs managed to keep it.
Matthews covers the point, got it to Bunting. Here's Michael Bunting cycling it back behind the
Pace of this game won't stop, huh?
there.
Matthews!
Looks for the mission.
Oh!
And Demko stopped that.
Did he tried it?
About it a number of times. That might be the
Oh, I need a replay.
closest
I need a
he's come.
replay.
No question. It's
Too
the
sweet.
closest he's come to executing
Give me
it.
that immediately.
Demko with
Give
a
me
hard
that
push
right
against the
now.
post. All the cycling bodies going around, you can get lost. And look at Morgan Riley get lost in the back door, but Demko doesn't.
There's the
panic.
Riley
He's
chance.
able to just hold on. Here he does backhand, thinks of it quickly. And
He straight up tried it.
Horvat does
He
a
straight
nice
up tried
job
it.
of smacking his stick and a little laugh as Marner.
Who has
talking to
more
Demko
fun than
on
Mitch
that
Marner?
one. We've seen, what, 3-4 times where Matthews has tried, never really been able to get it airborne, and that was his best effort.
My phone is exploding right now. Hi, Matt. Are you watching? My phone is exploding right now. Did you see that? He doesn't even have to score it for it to be impressive.
Sends the Tavares line right back out. An icing call. And
Like, dude, we're in a different era. I talk about this in Steve's Hat Picks all the time here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel.
There's a great example of stops and starts, so difficult to check. Look at Hughes ends up losing
Look at this.
stick on that one. Marner wanted a penalty.
As a
there.
goalie, you
That is
basically got to
Demko
block it with
leaning
your
hard
face.
against the post. That's what he was chatting to the goaltender about.
We talk about this on Steve's Hat Picks. Like, between the leg goals, like, we know this because we make Hat Picks videos, which are basically highlights videos. We make them every week. And it's not happening yet, but there's going to come a time where scoring a between the legs goal is not impressive enough to get into like a best of the week compilation. Everyone, it's not even that everyone can do it, it's that everyone does it. Like, Matthew Tkachuk has really perfected it. Tyler Mott on the Vancouver Canucks was featured in Hat Picks earlier this season for scoring a sick between the legs goal or sick between the legs assist. I can't remember. Matthews behind the net again. And Mott's on, like, what, the third, fourth line for the Canucks?
A check as he got it to Lyubushkin. Dermott looking for a shooting
A staggering
lane.
percentage of the NHL can do it.
Knocked
Glove stop by...
Mott shakes his hand after the
You
block.
see that?
In behind Matthews.
Okay.
Shifts gears and comes up.
Leafs
top.
really buzzing here. Marner puts it on. Lyubushkin! I'll lose my mind if
Bunting
Lyubushkin scores.
behind the net.
He's got one goal in like
Lost it.
180 games or something ridiculous.
The line will be kept in by Dermott. Now Matthews against Lamico.
Yeah, but that was Coyotes
Marner.
Lyubushkin. Leafs
Back for
Lyubushkin is
Matthews,
he's a killer.
Matthews looking for it again.
Matthews!
Found it, and he whipped it
Oh
wide.
my God!
Marner with a sprawling
Must see
Lamico
TV,
there.
Austin Matthews.
Finally, the Canucks are
Or
able
must
to
see
get it
YouTube.
out.
That's gonna be a
Knocks
penalty.
down his man. That's going to be an interference
Why did you
call
do that?
on Dermott
Why?
as he leveled Highmore.
Yeah, if you're Tyler Mott, get out of
Mott
there.
didn't
You
like
got
that.
a power
It was
play
Tyler Mott
at
with the
the
glove
end of a
save.
long shift. You had Hughes was out there over 2 minutes getting stuck.
I
And
thought it
Mott's
was.
had
Sorry,
himself
sometimes
quite
I
a
forget
shift as
who wears number
this line was
64.
just dangling around
Here he
to the
is.
outside. There's the glove save and a
Boom!
beauty. That one had to hurt.
Ooh, the inside of the glove there.
Quick shot in front. Lamico does a nice job of boxing out Bunting.
Michael
And if you're gonna be
Bunting,
there, you
keep
gotta
your
make
head up.
sure the puck doesn't get through.
Matthews was
Matthews
wide open there, but the puck just doesn't get through, and I want to see this penalty.
And then here's the penalty. Puck's gone and it's interference.
Dermott on.
An
I think that's.
Highmore goes down and draws
Yeah,
the
it's
penalty.
just it's way too late, dude. It's way too late.
That was a matchup that
I guess that was on
Sheldon
Mott.
Keefe
It's just
won
not
before
smart. And now the
flying
Leafs,
against Matthews
who
late,
have a
and
good
he got
penalty kill,
caught in there
go to the penalty kill.
very nearly able to get something going now.
They're going to need it to be
Great
good.
opportunity to
Their special
get
teams
something
have helped them out
here to start the second period.
First power
so
play
far
of the
tonight
night for the Canucks, 6 of their last 18.
with a power play goal.
And they were 1 for 5 in the first meeting. Shot right to the net, and now TJ Brody. Chance to clear it. Ramp
Oh boy.
over the glass.
Yeah, you know, it's been coming on. It's crept up to 20.6, 17th, but 6 for
It's not
17
500.
in the
Okay,
last
good.
6 games.
Okay,
You
good.
get into a 35.3 for Bruce Boudreau. It's especially on the road. You get an opportunity like this on the power play and can get some production. It's such a bonus.
Leafs have killed 19 of their last 22. but have surrendered power play goals in each of their last 2. It's JT Miller firing loose and scores.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That didn't take long, did it? Now the Leafs are down 3-1. Again, a good start to the period.
Winning the draw, getting it up high.
A really encouraging few plays, really encouraging few shifts. Then a silly mistake.
Just turn and get away from Campbell. He gets a little too tight, but he's got great
Soft in front.
Before Brody can get there, it's Besser who gets the rebound out of midair.
Like, they're consistent. You know, this game isn't over. There's so much time left. They have time to score and get back in it and erase a multi-goal deficit. And dude, every week I feel like I'm saying the same stuff, and it's not because I'm a fan of repeating myself or I like the sound of my own voice. It's because the same criticisms of the Leafs have been true forever, and no one on the roster is interested or capable of fixing it. Like, you know, the answer is in the room, all that stuff. Last year against the Montreal Canadiens, I think the answer was in the room. They had a 3-1 lead for crying out loud. The answer was in the room. The answer's not in the room. Although we got a 2-on-1 right here, and that was getting picked off the whole time. Why'd you bother? All right, here come the Canucks. He didn't even really look where he was passing. Engvall's had a good night tonight, so far.
Riley over the line for McCabe, back to Riley. Morgan Riley
centers. Oh, that was a nifty little play. Listen, I'm hard on this team because they're a team worth being hard on. I wasn't this hard on the 14-15 Leafs. We knew they stunk.
McCabe knocked down. And Miller there to
these guys are surprising when they stink.
For Vancouver, up ahead on the left side for Pearson. Watched there by Riley. Liljegren able to chop that away, and Nylander flips it towards Miller, and now Nylander skeets on.
Oh, Willie, he's hungry. He's hungry.
Nick Robertson.
Yo! Hey, there he is! Nick Robertson! His first regular season NHL goal off a beautiful feed and a beautiful effort from William Nylander. I feel like go right to your legs, the adrenaline. The Leafs. Are they starting their roar back? Oh, what a shot. Oh, this kid's a problem. When was the last 88 to 89 goal? Did Lindros ever play with McGillney? Pew, pew. Tape that puck up. We got a 3-2 game.
Will be a memorable one for number 89, and there's Morgan Riley getting the puck.
He's a forward, by the way.
Nick Robertson.
Nick Robertson.
Well, they wanted to get a
Fun
chance
fact.
to evaluate him in a top 6 role, and he comes through with a big goal.
You see, one time I called him a defenseman.
21 seconds after Vancouver had
I guess not all of you know that story. Every year I do a video on my personal YouTube channel called The Prospect Pyramid. Where basically, instead of ranking the Leafs prospects like 1 through 20 or 1 through 25 or whatever, I rank them in tiers. So here's tier 1, here's tier 2, tier 3. I just think it's a better way of organizing things. And one year, just complete brain flatulence, I called him a defenseman. I don't know why I did that. Oh, some rough stuff in front of the net. Anyway, he's a forward, and he's got his first NHL goal. Leafs down 3-2 to the Vancouver Canucks, but a memorable one from Nick Robertson. We'll be right back in a moment. Don't go away. Nick Robertson, Peterborough Pete's legend. Goodness, what a 24 hours for the Robertson family. Jason Robertson of the Dallas Stars, Calder nominee last year? Can't remember. He should have been. Either way. With a hat trick, his first career. And Nick Robertson with his first career regular season NHL goal, beating Thatcher Demko. Not bad. Really good effort from William Nylander. And does this not just go to show what a waste of time it was to have him on the fourth line? Dude, put him with good offensive players on account of he's a good offensive player. Just throwing it out there. Listen, it's probably tough to have Kerfoot down on the fourth line. I get that. But if you're going to call up Nick Robertson to play him on the fourth line, you might as well not call him. Put him on the second line, and he took less than a period and a half to score. He almost had one against the Sabres, as bad as that game was. He almost had one, despite playing exactly 45 seconds or whatever his final total was. An unbelievable amount of time left in this game. Hey, do you want a tip? You want a tip? Here, I'll give you a tip. If the Leafs are playing, take the over. It was 10-7 last week. We're up to 3-2 now. We're not quite in 10-7 territory, but oh boy, I shouldn't have said that when the Canucks had the puck. Jack Campbell with a stop. His save percentage is trash right now, and he's actually had, I think, a pretty good night. 3 goals against on 16 shots, but some of the shots he's faced have been pretty tricky.
Mentioned the 55 goals in Peterborough. He started with 15 his first year, then 27, and led to 55. And
Nick Robertson,
you hope you can't
noted
rush
forward.
young guys and put them in situations where maybe they lose their confidence. But because of injury, it's been even that much more frustrating for him to have to wait for his chance.
And we got another 2-on-1. Wayne Train to Wayne Simmons. Oh my God.
What a brilliant stop.
Wayne Train to Jason Spezza. Almost.
That was highlight reel material.
Not quite. That dude needs to stop standing up. Stop that.
You know, you almost feel like
if you're sitting along the glass, it's your job to not do that.
Because
you're distracting people on TV, watching on TV, and on YouTube. Won't someone think of the YouTube? You should watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle every Saturday, except not next one. Why not next one? They don't play. It's true. What are you doing next Saturday? Since the Leafs aren't playing. I know the answer, by the way. It's getting me a birthday present, because it's next Saturday. Is my birthday. Whoa!
And a stop by Campbell.
Oh boy.
And now Miller takes it away, feeds the point. Quinn Hughes.
Giveaways. 10. What a graphic.
He'll get it back.
Oh, nifty from the Canucks, but Jack Campbell holds the fort. And some, oh my God! The Leafs are pushing and shoving!
Wow, what a sequence. The
Leafs are pushing and shoving!
Interesting.
Call the news!
Demko, no. Okay, this is Simmons' night.
Call people you haven't spoken to in years!
Simmons to Spezza. Spezza sells shot
Simmons
for a second
Spezza
and then right
to
down to
Simmons.
get the pad
If
flat
that goes
Simmons
in,
unable to get it up and over, but
Scotiabank Arena becomes Scotiabank Stadium because there would be no roof.
As JT Miller tries to
Great play by Labushkin. Probably getting just enough of that to make Jack Campbell's job just easy enough.
For either of the goaltenders, but 2 really good ones.
Shout out to my wife who brought an herbal tea into the room during that sequence. She did it very stealthily. Did you notice? Did you hear the door open?
Face-off in the Toronto zone.
Well, what a year for Demko again. As
She
Kelly
did.
talked about the ups and downs of a goaltender.
Brought me a Sportsnet mug too.
He was 1
That's
and
dang it.
6 in 7 games.
But I'd say she's a hat pick.
Gave up 6, 7, and 3 times.
I'm gonna text her thank you right now.
9-1 in the next 10.
Oh no, I'm not. The Canucks have the puck.
Stay confident.
That one deflected by Miller, or Besser, excuse me, wide of the net.
Put it in the neutral zone. I need to tell my wife I love her. Stop being selfish. No!
Robertson back on
That
the
way.
race.
No, the other way.
Boards it
Sorry,
up.
I'm flipped. I didn't really. Okay. I'm
And
gonna touch
that
it.
bounced over the stick of
I
Pearson.
love
Riley
you.
advances.
Okay.
Tavares a goal and an assist on the night.
That's all you gotta say.
Trying to tie up Quinn Hughes.
You could say thank you, but.
Besser trying to skeet away from traffic.
Oh!
Get away.
What a
But
shot!
Hughes
What
has
a-
tied the game.
How are you real? How are you real? Oh my goodness.
I can't begin to tell you how difficult a shot this is mechanically for Austin
When Matthews does a
and he
blood
makes it
test,
look
it isn't
easy.
to test
Shooting
for,
across his
like,
body. It's a surprise play.
performance
As you saw the look
enhancing
of Besser,
anything. It's to
he
test
thought he
if
could
he's
get an
from
outlet to
space.
one of his teammates and
That
instead
is
it
so
goes too
ridiculous.
far.
How do you even
But
prepare for that?
Matthews, he's starting
How
to
do you
go
prepare for that?
backwards towards the boards.
It's like a half accidental play. There's no way he even knows that's coming.
Not so much just how much
And he
impact
places it
you can have on
perfectly.
that shot, it's the positioning.
That's
Up and
was
over
that,
the
did
shoulder
that man lift his shirt up?
of Demko on that one. A tough
did you all
giveaway
see
there
that?
for Besser, but what an excellent
Did
shot.
you see that?
By now, the tie for the lead in the National Hockey League match.
I didn't imagine that,
Besser
right?
with a giveaway Thursday night.
Anyway, we're
Resulted
not even
in the
halfway through
Islanders
regulation and we got a
taking the
tied
lead.
game. I
He
told
admitted
you.
after the game, his team
Number
picked him up,
38
but
for number 34.
got him off the hook.
I mean, that's almost more
Giveaway here to the
impressive than the Michigan.
Worst guy possible as Matthews has a share of the goal scoring lead once again. His 16th goal in 19 career games.
Matthews scores goals that
against
just
the
makes you
Canucks.
laugh.
Man, one of those plays where you're not expecting the pass either, so it's not.
I
like
really
you're
want to
going
replay
mindset-wise to be
to see if I saw
getting
what
the
I
shot
thought I
away.
saw.
Quick reaction and just perfect
Sorry, I
placement
got to
of
make
that
sure I
one.
look pretty
Matthews
for you.
back there to break up a pass, and the Leafs are out. Marner with Hall jumping up.
Leafs with a
and
much
bunting.
improved transition game
Held up there by
here in the
Chiasson,
second.
and the
Oh!
react, the officials don't.
Bunting getting
Chiasson took
rocked
Bunting
there
down.
in the Canucks zone.
Little activity behind the play.
I'd want a replay of that too. Is
Keep your eye
that
on
not
that.
interference?
As Engvall strides back in.
It's a little late.
Here's Engvall centering it.
Oh!
It's
Mikheyev with
Demko
all the time in
able
the
to
world.
stop
It
that,
doesn't
pushed
work.
it across.
Engvall, all the time in the
sends it
world.
wide
Doesn't
as he
work.
Double clutched.
Sit
Mikheyev
down.
got it again. The Leafs pushing the pace. That shot right on. as
Watch,
they
he's gonna stand up
rebound
again.
Out to Podkolzin. That go off the mask.
Don't be that guy.
High shoulder. That was a good shot by Mikheyev trying to go up high. As
Here's what I want you to do.
Demko was looking through
If you
traffic,
ever
almost
get
going down.
amazing seats at a Leaf game,
Here comes Mikheyev back in.
like I'm
Into
talking
the
first three
slot.
rows, bring a
Fires
sign
that
that says
puck down
that
the
guy.
front. Leafs get
And make sure
back
it says it
on
on the back,
Riley.
because I won't be able to read it if it's on the
Off
front.
stick of Hoglander and out of play.
Well,
Just
we
hold
got
it up.
ourselves a game now.
And I'll be like,
As it
okay,
often
fair-
does,
fair play.
goals get the energy going on
Engvall
both sides. How about
ends up
this
on
in
Mikheyev's
tight? There's
stick.
nothing there for Mikheyev
He has a
as
calendar
Demko
month
comes
to shoot
across,
it.
and Engvall from a tough angle had to double clutch and
The
it
Leafs,
never got through. Good deflection.
down
in front.
3-1 moments ago, have tied the game 3-3 here on YouTube, Sportsnet's YouTube channel, on a little thing that we call Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Who's Steve Dangle? Me. It's me. I decided to get an early start on my playoff beard. That's not true. I just wanted to see. I am tired of associating my facial hair with sadness. It is patchy and trash enough as it is. I do not need to grow this for 2 weeks every summer for 4 to 7 games and then be sad. That was outside of I really did genuinely think the Leafs had a shot at the Final Four last year. I was genuinely sad I didn't get to actually try to grow a beard. Because for as bad as it is improving with age. Still a lot of neck. Here's the annoying thing. I never got to grow, because of the Leafs, I never got to grow a brown beard. I never did. And that ship has sailed. It's gone. It left the dock. It went out to sea and it sank. I'm never going to grow a brown beard ever. I don't know how well this camera shows it. I think a big reason why the hair doesn't show up that well is it's a lot of gray. It's a big old bunch of gray. Shout out Bradley, by the way, for the you have 10 seconds to grab something and tell a story about it. Rebecca, I'm new to hockey. Do a lot of trades happen before the deadline? Is it all in one day? When do talks start? Oh, well, talks start months in advance. So a lot of the trades you're going to see in the coming weeks, because the trade deadline is March 21st, have been talked about for months. The Dion Phaneuf deal to Toronto with Brian Burke, notoriously that took months and months as the puck goes out of play. So when I was a kid, when I was younger, it was a huge television event, and every 10 minutes there would be a new trade. It was wild, and the trades would be enormous. Now it's a bit of a mixed bag. You don't know what time of day the trades are going to come in.
It's a tight game, and he just wanted to
and in recent years, because the trades happen in the week leading up to the trade deadline, it's been a lot of analysis of the trades that have already happened. But the trades that have already happened sort of make the trades that haven't happened more dire, right? Because it's sort of like, some teams have already finished their shopping, making the teams that haven't a little bit more desperate. Marner, you bully. Matthews, you bully. Oh, do the Michigan. This game can't end until he scores in Michigan. I don't care if we need another 10-7 game. I promise I'll finish answering that question. But the top line's on the ice and they're silly. Oh! If that's a right-hander, it's in. Matthews loves a good hook pass.
Another long cycle shift. Then it comes back to Matthews.
Oh.
Oh,
how didn't that go in? It's illegal that didn't go in. Oh, it's illegal. How dare you?
Riley steps up. He shot. Demko got a piece of that. Again, no stick.
Leafs got him in a blender right now.
Matthews.
They cannot take... Oh, I believe there's a delayed penalty call here. And there you go! I don't know who ended up getting that. Someone got a piece of that in front, and just under 8 minutes to go in the second period. Still an unbelievable amount of time left in this game. The Leafs, who were down 3-1 moments ago, are now up 4-3. Matthews just Tasmanian devil. Bang. And did that just simply go through everybody? That was Matthews at the point. I know the camera went straight to him, but I was like, what would he be doing at the point? Boom. He's so casual. Now he needs the Michigan for the hat trick. Boom. I don't think that touches a thing. I don't think that touched anybody.
3 goals, 6 minutes, 33 seconds. The last two by
He's so silly. Anyway, to continue to answer your question, Rebecca. In recent years, there have been a lot of trades in the week or two leading up to the trade deadline.
They have come here in the second.
From a television perspective, it adds a new layer to it because, like, if a trade happened 1 or 2 weeks ago, you'll have footage of that player on his new team already. Is Simmons going to get called for that? In his 1000th game? How dare you? No! It's not allowed!
Yeah, trying to get at the puck.
How dare you? You ruined his night and mine!
Just 2 there. Pedersen does a good job of protecting the puck, though. He anticipates.
Well,
Simmons
fair
gonna come
enough.
and try to come around him, and
look at
that
Petey's
look
face.
says it all.
You see the woman sitting there? She's,
the
she knew. Yeah, it's a penalty.
Too,
I know it's his 1000th game, but that's a penalty. All right, the Leafs penalty kill better be better than their last one.
And for Bo Horvat, he's only
okay, Rebecca, at this point, I need to wrap up my answer to your question.
That's an oddity for Horvat.
Trades leading up to the trade deadline have been much more spread out in recent years. This year, because of the tight cap, I think the trade deadline is going to be much more of a one-day event, maybe 2 or 3 days, because teams need to wind down as much of the clock on the season as they can, so that the players they acquire are as cheap as possible against the salary cap. But there are ways to cheat that little system.
Looking to respond here for Vancouver.
Leafs on the penalty kill. They've already killed off 30 seconds, so that's better than last time.
wide again.
And I'm not really chirping their penalty kill. It's generally speaking pretty good. The Canucks with a good opportunity, though. Feels like an eternity since I told you 30 seconds had passed. Leafs are doing a lot of skating. They got a mobile penalty kill, but they feel mobile in a way that is terrifying right now. But here we are halfway through. Pretty fun game so far against the Vancouver Canucks. By the way, a Matthews hat trick will give him 40 tonight. So silly. So ridiculous.
Miller slaps it back down in the Vancouver zone.
As we get a whistle.
Yeah, you've seen Pettersson and from this spot be able to score. Here he's got Besser in front.
Let's go back to the question pool.
Now you reload, and this one again he had an opportunity, but just
Jess, why do you keep posting that sea shanty song? So I keep posting a song called "You Won't Make a Fool Out of Me" by Flogging Molly, and the reason is, first of all, it's not a Flogging Molly is Flogging Molly. It's not sea shanties. Float is a really good album. How dare you? But I keep posting it because it fires me up. Fires me up.
Everything's okay. We're ready to go.
I'm going to seize the day. I'm not going to get pushed around by anybody.
On that face-off, won it away from Pearson. And Riley flips it back into
I'm just going to continue to crush it like I always do. That's what you got to tell yourself. But you won't. No, you won't. You won't make a fool out of me. Sea shanties? I'm so insulted on Flogging Molly's behalf.
With 7 points in that game.
I went to a Flogging Molly show, and the grossest part about the show, I had a very good time, but they sell a lot of merch. And the reason they sell a lot of merch is about halfway through the show, you realize you're covered in more of other people's sweat than yours. It's a great time. Oh, big opportunity for the Canucks. And it goes wide. 0 shots on goal somehow. I'm not sure I believe that, but the Leafs kill it off. 5 minutes to go here in the second period. The Leafs, minutes ago in the second period, we're down 3-1. It is now 4-3 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Flogging Molly is not a sea shanty band. They are simply Flogging Molly. How dare you? Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends.
Vancouver led 1-0, 3-1, and now
Anthony, how do you feel about the mixing up of the defense pairs? We already sort of talked about this, and I talked about how Jared Bednar of the Colorado Avalanche said you never know what you're going to see in the playoffs. He's right. I mean, John Tavares going down last year in the playoffs. You never expect that. And it happened. Jake Muzzin going down in Game 6 against the Montreal Canadiens. You never expect that. And yet, it's happened in each of the Leafs' last 2 playoff runs. Do the Leafs beat Montreal if Muzzin plays the remainder of Game 6 and also in Game 7? I don't know. Do the Leafs beat Columbus if Jake Muzzin doesn't get injured at the end of Game 2 that the Leafs won? I don't know.
It's out at center ice. And here's Bunting.
Here comes Michael Bunting.
Step inside and centered it.
The reason you mix it up is to find answers. Even if the Leafs have a bad game, like they did against Buffalo the other night, it's an answer.
Another big night for
Let's try Sandin. Let's try him. And they tried him. Oh! As bad as it is, it's an answer. Here we are. Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. That's dang it. If you would like this, what I'm holding, too bad. You don't live with me. My wife brought this tea, and you can't have it. I don't even know what the brand is. Oh, but if you want the mug, well, I can tell you where to go for the mug. You go to shopsportsnet.store. And then you're going to see my face, and you're going to go, it's a lot of Steve face. I don't really think I care for that. But the mugs don't have my face. That's a hat pick. Or dang it. Depends on what you want. Bella If Matthews is the best player on the team, who is in second? Okay, Bella, I do enjoy your use of if there. The conversation is Matthews the best player in the league this season? And like, that's not even being a homer. Is Matthews the best player in the league is the conversation. He is the best Leaf. It was a conversation at one time. Who's the second best? I'm going to say, people are going to roll their eyes. Mitch Marner. Who's better? Who's better? Stop it. We're going to come back to the game, and we have a ridiculous graphic on Matthews' dominance. And it applies to this conversation. But Marner, all right. I know people are mad about Marner and how everything went against Montreal. It's not like Matthews was very good either. But Marner's been unbelievable. Most 5-on-5 goals since the 1920 season. Matthews is 83. Kyle Connor hasn't even cracked 60. That's so dumb. He is at 5-on-5. No one's better. No one's better. No one's even close. Like, oh my God, that's so silly. That's so silly. I would read every Matthews article you wrote from a statistical standpoint, because you're going to get a lot about Ovechkin, the closer he gets to Gretzky and everything. Ovechkin, as sick of a goal scorer as he was, and as good as he is at 5-on-5, he scored a ton of power play goals. Whoa! Jack holds the fort. The puck is loose, though. The Canucks lose it. Dangle, such an efficient stride. He goes so fast without having to do very much. Tavares can rip it.
We're calling for a penalty there. The lead feed.
The Canucks partial 2-on-1 here. Dangerous.
No
goal. 2.5 minutes to go here in the second period. And Liljegren. Awkward. Tavares. Awkward. They survive.
Just saw Horvat in the nick of time.
Anyway, what I meant to say before all that happened is I want to see Matthews and Ovechkin compared in terms of goal scoring at a similar age. Ovechkin, you'll remember, had 60-plus goal seasons. I think Matthews is the... Oh, dear. Here are the Canucks. What a move! Stopped by Campbell. I said on a podcast recently, Matthews is the only 60-goal scorer in NHL history to never score 50. His seasons just keep getting shortened by, COVID stoppages and everything. Canucks missed the net again. But he's at 39 already. I don't think 50 is the question. I think
Matthews kicks it back. Labushkin for Dermott. Bunting behind the net. Trying to come out in front, and he had it knocked off his stick by Hunt. Matthews gets it back. Played to the line as the Leafs change. Looking for another long cycle shift, but they might be able to keep it going because Marner's on it. Now Bunting in the final minute of the period. And off the bench comes Camp with speed. Justin Hall had it bounce over his stick, and the Canucks are out. Here's Garland.
Achoo. I sneezed. That's why I left.
At the end of a long shift.
45 seconds to go. Leafs, who were losing 3-1 at the beginning of this period, are now up 4-3. They just stay onside there. Just over 30 seconds to go. Ilya Mikheyev. Beef! Engvall, he's had a pretty good game. Let's see if he can generate something here. Spezza, who has been sniffing tonight. He has been all over it. Everyone's been all over it. It has not exactly been a low-event game.
Hall up the boards. Simmons has got it.
Wayne Train needs one. An assist will do. Seconds to go. Oh! Oh! The Leafs cannot get a last-second goal, but they do manage to erase a 3-1 deficit. They take a 4-3 lead into the third period against the Vancouver Canucks. This is Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that we got some original Sportsnet content coming at you. Do not go away.
It's because they're making me work, and that was a lot of work last night and not a lot of fun.
You can't miss something unless it's gone, and that was the case with the fans the last year and a half. Last night, capacity, the overall feel that you had, at least going into the game. I know probably a minute and a half, everybody forgot about buildings ever being empty when the Leafs are down 1-0 to the Buffalo Sabres in the first couple of minutes, and then everything's back to normal. But what were your thoughts and the feeling going back into a capacity crowd again?
You know, I was excited. You get excited just walking into the building because it was different. It's just eerie when you go to the rink and there's nobody there and there's nobody on the street before the game, after the game, and I was ramped up last night, and I'll tell you, I've been sitting at the Olympics doing all the games off monitors and games in empty rinks, and I got to do the Leaf-Pittsburgh game, and that was only half full, and I really felt charged up to get back into a rink with atmosphere for the first time in a number of weeks, and so I was anticipating it would be at a different level last night, and you're right, about a minute in, and it wasn't at all, and it was a pretty quiet night. It was almost as quiet at the end as it was when there was nobody in the building, and that's it's not meant to be a cheap shot, but it was. It was that game silenced everybody, and most of the people had left with a few minutes to go, and the people that stayed weren't making a lot of noise.
No. So, we've called a lot of these Leafs games this season. What is your impression of where this team is at? We sit here every day and try to pick through, well, what does this mean for the playoffs? And, it can be tough to tell what matters and what doesn't. In the big picture, what are your thoughts about where they're at and their likelihood of having a run in them this year?
Well, I'll go back to last night because I had this expectation that here's this great opportunity, and there would have been, I think, 2 games in hand for Tampa Bay, but a chance to leapfrog Florida, get into a first-place tie in the Atlantic, and I think that's what should be the priority right now is finish as high as possible and avoid having to go through both Florida and Tampa, and just to come up as flat as they have, and then you think back, they've lost to Buffalo, they lost to Montreal, and they lost to Arizona, and those are games that you put 6 points in the bank, and now you've got a cushion and you're in first place. But everybody's disappointed about last night, but this is a team that's won as much as any Leaf team in history through this point in the season, and I think they've got a lot of good things going on, but that might be one more piece of evidence for Kyle Dubas that there's still work to be done.
We're speaking with Hockey Night in Canada and Sportsnet play-by-play announcer Chris Cuthbert. Justin made a point earlier in the show, over the course of 82, you're going to hit ruts. There is that element of just maybe fatigue setting in. From your seat, Chris, do you pick up the lack of energy pretty quickly to start a hockey game?
Yeah, I thought you could pick it up last night right off the bat. And it's funny because I was watching Buffalo. Don Granato had spent a lot of time in recent days talking about his team's slow starts and to be ready at 7 o'clock, although last night 7:30, but and that his top line has, they put up some good numbers this year, Thompson, Skinner, and Alex Tuck, and yet they were not apparently starting hockey games very well. The Leafs have been great starting of late. I used the stat last night. I kind of dug into what they've been doing in the first period of late. They were slow starters at the start of the season, and going into last night, I think they'd scored like 51 first-period goals in the last 30 games, and they've scored 3 goals in the first period 10 times. But last night, you could tell almost from the first shift, and even going through everybody getting on the ice for the first time that nobody seemed to have anything going early. And I thought that might change after Sandin tied it, but it really never changed all night.
You know, seeing the amount of hockey you do each season, I imagine you have a pretty good perspective on, you know, when teams have it or don't have it. Watching this season, has there been any team outside of Toronto that has made you think, okay, this is a team that has a legit cup shot here?
Well, I think, you know, all the favorites that you've seen, I'm going to go back and answer your question a different way. I think Colorado's one of those teams.
Right.
But we've seen Colorado play like that too. I mean, we saw it right in Toronto the night that they didn't get great goaltending the night the Leafs spanked them. I think it was 8-3 or whatever. But sometimes Colorado doesn't have it either. And they played a game earlier this week, I think, and I'm trying to place which team it was, but you know, I watched the Avalanche pretty closely, and they didn't have it that night. It might have been against the Rangers, but so everybody goes through it. You know, everybody does. Nick, 94. Did you guys have you know, a week or two where you hit the skids, maybe even more?
I don't know if people remember, but 94, we made half a dozen trades at the trade deadline, and there was a certain feeling like whatever we did, and we were leading the league in regular season, it still wasn't good enough. So, you know, despite even what the scoreboard was saying on a nightly basis, you know, there's some people that still didn't believe that we were good enough. So, you know, we were kept guessing throughout that regular season.
Yeah, you know what, Glenn? Glenn Sather in the 80s with the Oilers. I mean, the Oilers had put up a 60-win season, and yet you were waiting to see what they did at the deadline. I remember when they brought Kent Nielsen in from Calgary, and I'll tell you what, the one practice I remember more than any skate I've ever been to was the first practice when Kent Nielsen came from the arch rivals Calgary to skate with the Oilers, and the Oilers were in high gear that day, kind of as a message to Nielsen as you know, this is what it's all about here, and you better bring your best. So you know, it'd be interesting to see what, regardless of last night, you know, it's going to be fascinating to find out how much the Leafs do to try and put themselves over the top.
I'm going to date us real quick here, Chris, but you mentioned.
Spezza scores! Jason Spezza has been the best player for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I think if you ask anyone that knows Spez, he's one of the best all-around person off the ice.
I think first and foremost, he's the consummate professional.
He's kind of tuned into so many different things, and he kind of keeps everybody connected on our team and keeps everybody involved.
Jason Spezza is a respected leader on the Toronto Maple Leafs and has quietly earned the reputation for wanting to help others. And last season, that included the Leafs AHL affiliate.
We trained with the Leafs strength and conditioning staff, and they're undersalaried by the team, and they train the guys, but it's very customary in our sport to tip our trainers, you know, whether it's athletics, strength and conditioning, equipment, and with them training us in the off season, you know, you always want to show your appreciation. And I don't know if Jason's gonna be pissed at me for saying this, but he came up to me at the end of the summer and he was like, you know, don't worry about tipping the trainers. I'll take care of it. But so that's Jason Spezza right there.
Due to the pandemic, last season the Toronto Marlies players had their salaries cut by 50%. You decided that you wanted your teammates all to come together and donate some money to the guys on the Marlies. First of all, just what made you think of doing that?
It was really important to us to recognize the year that those guys in the American League have gone through. We know a lot of them really well. They're all part of the same family as us here with the Maple Leafs, and knowing the financial struggles of some of the guys, we wanted to do something to help them out.
They set up a fund for all the players that got their contracts cut now. You know, I won't get into details into how much, but it was extremely generous. And that goes a long way for a lot of people.
We thought as a group, after Spez mentioned that, it would be unbelievable for us to be able to give back, you know, to the guys on the Marlies.
That's kind of a piece of, you know, kind of who he is and what he thinks about. And he's always keeping people, you know, together and in tune, and then making sure that everybody's kind of taken care of. And, you know, I thought that was a really, really nice thing to obviously do. And I think it meant a lot to a lot of different people. So, Obviously credit to Jason on that.
It couldn't have come at a better time. Like, the guys were all just sort of run down. Nobody likes to quarantine. And then to have it hit everyone's bank account sort of unannounced, you could just see their faces light up, right?
And how did the guys on the Marlies react when you told them?
Well, I got a really nice letter from Rich Clune, thanking us. A lot of guys got personal messages from different guys that they know, and they showed a lot of gratitude towards us, which they didn't have to do. We just wanted to kind of move on and to try to do a good thing for them.
He did what he did, and he wasn't expecting anything in return. It was just a letter on behalf of the players, acknowledging what kind of man he is, and also his teammates. And everyone was gifted this money. No player left unattended, and it was just a thank you and acknowledging his character and his generosity and the kind of man he is, and then letting them know that hopefully one day we can all pay it forward.
And then I hate the bull. Sorry. Hey, how you doing? Let's watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that the Leafs have a 4-3 lead heading into the third period. Did you know, this is true, did you know that the Leafs have blown the fewest third period leads in the entire league this season? I made that up. I mean, I don't actually know. I don't know where they rank, but for a second you were like, this, your brain exploded and it short circuited and now you feel alive. You're welcome for that feeling. I feel alive after watching the Leafs erase a 3-1 deficit. The Canucks earned the 3-1 deficit in the second period and also blew it. And the Leafs are up 4-3. Austin Matthews is an alien from Venus, Mars, and some planets that are not in our solar system. He's unbelievable. I'm trying to think of who else scored. It doesn't matter. Oh, Nick Robertson. Again, Steve forgetting about Nick Robertson, forgetting the details. How dare I? You're right. You're right. Now, I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but the Leafs are going to surrender this lead in the third period. The Canucks are going to score. They're going to tie the game. The Leafs are going to do this on purpose so that Wayne Simmons can score the winner. You're welcome. I almost said the overtime winner. I don't know if Wayne Simmons has played a single shift of overtime in a Toronto Maple Leafs uniform. It'd be sweet, but no, they're not going to do that. But he has to score the overtime winner. Oh, shoot. Steve, do you listen to yourself? He has to score the game winner. Part of my charm is I'm dumb. He's got to score the game winner on this, the night of his 1,000th NHL game. Man, what a journey. Scarborough's very own. Oh! It's intermission, so Wayne Simmons story time. A bunch of people were asking for them. So this is amazing. I grew up in basically the same neighborhood. The middle school where Wayne Simmons went, like the grade 7-8 school that Wayne Simmons went to. I played in that playground all the time. I didn't go to that school, but it was just down the street from the house that I grew up in. And we somehow never cross paths. I know so many people that he knows. He knows so many people that I know. And our paths never crossed until I got to speak to him at Leafs Media Day this year. And, the one time we meet each other, I'm wearing a mask. So I hope to meet him face to face one day and like entire face. That would be cool. For goodness sakes. But my favorite Wayne Simmons story is that at Joseph Howe, listen, kids play stupid games. We played foot hockey at my school. You know those dangerous metal pipes they put around like the hydro system outside of the school or whatever it is? Like some sort of gas valves that you're super not supposed to be playing around. Yeah, we use that dangerous metal thing as our foot hockey net. And you would take off your coat and freeze to death, and that would be your goalie pads. That was a stupid game that we played at my school, St. Brendan's. What they played at Joseph Howe, his middle school, was tackle soccer. And my favorite Wayne Simmons story is he broke my friend's collarbone playing tackle soccer. Now, the Wayne train was not the size of the Wayne train that he is today. He was just some scrawny kid. But he still packed a punch, and yeah, he broke my friend's clavicle. Also, noted ish disturber Justin Fisher on Leafs Twitter. He, and I believe it was a game of tackle soccer, ripped Wayne Simmons' shirt, and Simmons tried to fight him. Luckily, people intervened before Tiny Wayne beat up Tiny Justin. Justin always likes to say that he fought Wayne Simmons, but no, not really. And thank goodness you didn't, Justin. I don't like your odds in that one, bro. I don't like it at all. It's good to have Scarborough's very own on Toronto's very own team. Michael Bunting, Scarborough as well. I've told the story before. I'll tell it again. I grew up in Scarborough before it was part of Toronto. I was born in 88. It wasn't part of Toronto until 99, I believe. And I asked my dad, I go, why do we cheer for the Leafs? And he go, because, we're not from Toronto. We're from another place. Why do we cheer for the Leafs? And he said, because that's our team. And I never asked him again. And I decided, okay, I will dedicate my entire life towards this. That's normal, right? When you're like 5, you decide your entire life. That's normal. That's normal and smart. Smart. We got some more questions from the chat. So many of you with amazing questions in the chat. Jason, do you have much time for hobbies? No. Well, look at this room and look at what I'm doing right now. I made my hobby into my job. So sometimes I forget, oh yeah, talk about hockey for a living. But other than that, I really like playing Red Dead Redemption. And I got to tell you, a lot of you are going to roll your eyes. And some of you are going to think I'm really cool. I'm pretty good at Wordle. I have played it 24 times. I missed one. And that I'm still forever salty about that. But 10 times out of the 24, I've gotten it in 3 guesses.
This is the last period before you have to go west.
As we start the third period, Leafs up 4-3. This is the last I will say about Wordle. There's a version of it called Quordle that is 4 games of Wordle at once. It's the dumbest, most infuriating, most invigorating thing in the world. Well, that and watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Leafs have a 4-3 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. Oh my goodness, Boosh. Thank you for that. Now all we got to do is sit back, relax, and watch the Leafs defend a 4-3 lead. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Flip it in behind the net. JT Miller after it.
Oh God, it's not fine. Oh, it's not fine at all. How long are we in? A minute? Okay. Oh, we're not fine at all. Oh! Boo! Boo! Defend the lead! Boo! Oh my gosh. I mean, after last week, the 10-7 game, like, whenever I do that stuff, I'm not yucking it up. Oh, it's just a sneaky squeaker from Tyler Myers through Jack Campbell. It's tipped in front by Tanner Pearson. And just like that, a minute in, it's 4-4. Absolutely hilarious. Here, I'll tell you a funny Tanner Pearson story. So he was at Team Canada camp. He ended up making the World Junior team a few years ago. He was a late bloomer. He was an undrafted overager, and then he had such a good start to his 20-year-old season in the OHL, I believe with the Barrie Colts, that he was considered for Canada's World Junior team. Oh, the Canucks! Stopped by Campbell. One of the people I was at the World Junior camp with is a hockey player. Oh, what a play! How didn't that go in? Oh my God, how didn't that go in? Anyway, one of the people I was with is a former hockey player. I think he played an exhibition game at the Rangers. He didn't quite make it in the show, but like, you know, OHL and all that. And he would train with certain teams. And he was training with this Junior B team. And he remembered training with Tanner Pearson. And it was only like 2 years ago. And so he approached Tanner Pearson. Sorry, 2 years ago from the time they met. And he goes, that's a big hit from Wayne Simmons. He goes, hey, I trained with you with this team, right? And Tanner Pearson goes, yeah. And my friend goes, what the heck happened? And Tanner Pearson just goes, I don't know, I used to suck and I got good. That's a true story. Alex Kerfoot, by the way, complaining of a slash. And naturally there's no penalty call. John Tavares for the shot! Gobbled up by Thatcher Demko just under 3 minutes into the third period. Leafs had a lead. They've already blown it. You knew that. It's 4-4. But, as I predicted, the Leafs give up the lead so that Wayne Simmons can get the game winner. That's Connor Garland saving a goal there from Michael Bunting. I believe, would that have been his 20th? Goodness gracious. And now all you got to do is score 5 on Thatcher Demko. That shouldn't be too hard, right?
Desjardins Financial Group, a proud part of communities, a proud fan of hockey wherever it's played.
So Pearson from Myers and Besser at 103 has the game back on even terms. Miller away, Pearson against
offensive zone draw for the Leafs. Nick Roberts,
wow!
Wow!
And Miller shovels it down the ice.
Oh, 138 pounds of Nick Robertson with a huge hit. That's a lie.
Assist in this game.
That's a lie.
Fired back by,
you know what's mean and we got to stop doing in professional hockey is we talk about small players like they're small. No, there are no small players in the NHL. Even the small ones are jacked. Nick Robertson is deceptively wide. He's a sturdy young man. You want an example of small not actually being small? Martin St. Louis. Knock him off the puck. Try.
Bunting trying to force a mistake, and well, they force an icing call and a face-off back.
He's a coach. He's been out of the league for a number of years. He could probably still deadlift an elephant.
Matthews pointing to which side you want to have the face-off. For Bruce Boudreau, I said coming into this period, you have to have that kind of talk with your team. Is just 20 more minutes, guys, and do this one for your goaltender.
If I were a coach, I would just eat a sandwich all game, so that I didn't have to wear the mask.
Could be an excellent road trip for them.
Right? Because that's fine. You got to wear the mask. But what if you're eating a sandwich?
Quinn Hughes is on it. Down in behind the Leaf net. Jason up top for Myers and across.
Leafs hemmed in again.
Hughes shifts gears.
This is the top line, too.
Ducks in behind the net. Spots Horvat. Out in front.
Oh, that
Went
sneaks
past
through.
Campbell and out the other side.
There's an example of it. Not
And
even
goes
trying to shoot
wide
to
of the
score,
net.
just the bodies in front,
Now
get
the
that
top
kind of
line gets to
rebound.
work
Here's
offensively.
Matthews back in with Bunting, and
Matthews looking to get a piece of that Bunting
Zach
shot,
Demko.
There's
but
a great battle
Demko
going on between Liljegren and
gobbles it up in his
Poulin.
glove.
He ends up getting out of the
This is a
corner.
high-octane
So you're right on
game.
your screen there, and he gets inside. Liljegren
Listen,
tries
if
to
you're
box
looking
out,
forward
and
to
that's
seeing the
one
lead,
that shot
oh,
was
that was
intended
so
to
close.
just try to hit a
How did
body,
this stay out?
And it did, but it came back the other way. And
Either
for Jack
Podkolzin
Campbell, again,
accidentally
another
knocked that
shot
wide, or it hit
towards the net that
Liljegren's
never
skate.
really was clean, and that's got to start affecting you a
If
little
you're watching
bit.
this game
If
hoping
I'm
to see the
Vancouver, you
Leafs
throw everything you
pick up
can towards
playoff
it.
habits, well,
Ducks win that draws well in the defensive zone.
you're
The
probably
Leafs
not all that impressed.
62%
But
tonight.
if you're watching this game for an entertaining game,
There's Garland behind
congrats.
taken away.
This game's ruled. It's been awesome.
Outskates Engvall.
Some
Red
pretty
line
big hits
and in.
on both ends.
Approaching 5 minutes of the third.
8 goals.
Leafs scored
Still need
3
9
straight
more to
second
catch
took
last
the
week.
lead, but a
Isn't that so ridiculous? This is a high-scoring game.
has got
Like, if you
Vancouver
bet the
even.
over, you probably
McKay
hit
trying to track that
on, like,
down.
basically
Bastard
everything.
along the boards, Engvall in support.
And last week's game had
Hector
9 more
Larson
goals than
along
this.
the boards.
Holy
And he
cow.
hits the deck, and the Leafs come up with it. Spezza from long range.
Spezza with a shot.
Kicked out by Demko.
Rebound, the
For
Leafs
last
can't
year,
collect it.
Jason Spezza with a hat trick against the Vancouver Canucks. A
Babushkin.
center
Oh,
here,
no.
and
Oh!
changeup kicked away
Man,
by Campbell.
Campbell's numbers are not great tonight, but I tell you what, he's
Speeds
made some
away.
unbelievable saves. He has not gotten a ton of help from the team in front of him.
Alex Kerfoot. Back
He's
to
looked
the hall.
poised.
He'll send it wide at the side of the net. Spezza.
I don't really have any complaints about his performance tonight.
Nobody
Pass to
there.
nobody.
And intercepted
But it's Jason
by
Spezza.
Hamonic
I give him a pass.
with the goal and an assist
He's
for
faultless.
Vancouver. And Campbell
Oh!
hold on to that as it came off the
Justin, buddy.
inboards.
Now, I mentioned
Going
just
face
break
first
towards
into the
net,
boards
traffic
and
in front. Here's another
don't
one.
do that.
Mott does
That's
a
not
good
fun.
job on his stomach making that play.
And
this
how'd he
is a
get that
knuckler.
pass
The
off?
reaction by Campbell, he never
Campbell.
really saw it until it hit his pad. And
Fortunate he didn't get all of it.
TJ Brody to
Take a
clear it
drink.
afterwards.
Hydrate. It's a big
10-7
third period.
last
Let's go.
Saturday. We're not going to get that high tonight, I don't think. But this has been another entertaining Saturday night. And the Canucks win another
Is that a
faceoff.
Steve Thomas
Hughes
jersey in the
shot
front row?
blocked by
Good for you.
Kerfoot. Here's Quinn Hughes on
That's
the
exactly
attack.
what that was.
Hit a leg. It
The
comes
dude's-
to
Whoa!
Mercer and a sharp angle shot.
Jack Campbell
Doesn't
again.
get to the net. Nylander's on it for
I'm telling you, he's a big reason why they're still in this
Mercer
game.
in a pretty good spot there to give Vancouver the lead as he plays it back in behind the
Peter
goal
Mrazek
net.
took a lot of
See
crap
the skills
last
of
game,
Quinn Hughes in full
and
display.
a lot of
He
that
said
crap
this
was
is
given to him
ability
by
use
me.
his feet to create chances.
And I stand by it.
In,
But
tried to
it's worth
knock it
mentioning
off
that the team was
Kerfoot.
garbage in
He was
front of
going
him,
the other way.
which I did mention.
And Podkolzin
And they
for
were garbage in
Luke
front of
Shen.
him. But man, they're not helping
Flipped
Jack
down the
out
ice,
tonight.
and Horvat will chip and chase. Liljegren sends it around. An assist on the fourth Leaf goal for Timothy
Liljegren on the top pair with Morgan Riley.
And a stretch pass for Bunting.
He's been doing some
Cruising
swimming
Vancouver line, taken away
and
by
doing some
Myers.
sinking.
Quickly moving back in is Horvat. Here's Bo Horvat. Stick came out of the hands of
Marner-
Myers, scores! And the Canucks have the lead.
Okay,
It's Tyler Myers.
let's review. Mitch Marner did not have a stick. Mitch Marner did an impression of what I believe was a scarecrow. Tyler Myers just got a net front goal.
Right down and a smart play.
What the heck happened?
A long stretch pass.
Please show
gets
me this.
broken up by
Okay.
Myers. Does a good job of transitioning.
Did Myers go
Watch in the
in
middle
there?
of the play. There's the stick gone. Now Marner almost stopped for a second. Now he kicks it and right into the air. Chase on right there to be able to pounce on that. A bouncing puck. So often Marner be able to make that play, but Johnny on the spot. Both Myers and Chase on. Pounce on that
dear.
one, and another one for Campbell. Just unable to track
Or was
that
it
one.
Chase on?
The quick release after
Why
a
were they
good
showing
escape
Myers? Who cares?
of Marner.
A right-handed shot.
Saw no stick for
Who
Demko,
shouldn't have
and he
scored,
ended up
scored.
letting the goal in. Now you got no
Now the
stick
Leafs,
for
who were
Marner.
down 3-1 and made it 4-3,
Second period has
are
been all
down 5-4.
Vancouver. third period, pardon me, has been all Vancouver.
7 minutes into the third period. They're losing 7 minutes into a period that they began with the lead. Again, it's an entertaining game. You're always going to get your money's worth when it comes to watching a Leaf game. Especially watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle, which is free, by the way. Always going to get your money's worth.
Michael bunting ahead to Matthews.
But man, this team just cannot keep the puck in their net. They're so bad. First line was on the ice for that goal, and now they're trying to get it right back. Matthews looking for a hat trick. He tried a Michigan earlier. Didn't work. Everything else did.
There's Highmore as Mikheyev comes over the boards.
Marner's been out there quite a long time. Oh, Labushkin getting picked off.
Stepped up. Marner was headed to the bench. He'll play it back.
Chase on his 6th goal of the season. 2nd tonight, I believe. Ew. Gross. Tomato.
And flipped back away and gloved by Mikheyev. That's offside.
Wasn't Chase on the guy who got suspended for hitting Jimmy Vesey last year? Oh boy, the Leafs began this period with the lead, and now they do not have it anymore. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. We'll see if they can come back, and we'll be right back. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Here I am again. What was that? Whoa. A lot going on. It's producer Stu pressing buttons, he just said. That's you press all the buttons you want, man. It's my favorite thing. Oh, he said especially my buttons. That is, I'm getting HR on you, producer Stu. How dare you? Listen. Leafs began this period up 4-3. That's good. Now they're down 5-4. That's bad. How do we feel about any combination of a Wayne Simmons goal, either to tie it or win it, plus Matthews' goal for the hat trick, either to tie it or win it? I like it.
Here in Toronto.
Nick Robertson is also good, just by virtue of he's a rookie and it's fun. Another fun option. Okay, it's always funny when David Kampf scores. I'm sorry, it just is. Also, Ilya Labushkin. I want it. Oh, I want it. I want it so that the broadcast team can tell us the last time he scored. Because I don't know. He has one goal in something like 185 NHL games. Oh, dear Morgan. It worked out.
Pass broken up by Myers. Engvall couldn't get loose. Vancouver with a stretch to Besser. Drops it off for Pearson.
The Canucks not letting up on offense as the puck goes into the netting behind the net.
That last win because Kevin Bieksa was +3 in the game.
When is this? Oh, December 17th, 2011.
The video, it's a telling sign, isn't it? There's Manny Malhotra behind.
Manny Malhotra.
Manny was 12-4 in the face-off circle.
I keep forgetting he's behind the Leaf bench. It's a shame that the Leafs special teams are doing. They did so poorly last year, and everyone was talking about Manny Malhotra. Now they're doing great, and I never hear his name. I know they brought Spencer Carberry on board.
Well, neither goalie loves seeing a 4 or a 5 up on the board, but right now for Thatcher Demko, you go back to that.
I highly doubt the Leafs are just allowing Manny Malhotra to collect the paycheck.
Maybe the one thing that kept his team into this game and able to come back here.
Puck cleared from the front of the net by Brad Hunt down the ice. Nylander striding back and no icing.
Icing waved off there.
Leaves it for TJ Brody, whose old partner Mark Giordano, like Wayne Simmons.
Willie's kind of been all over it tonight. I got to say, up front, I don't really have any notes. They've got 4 goals. They got to do a better job helping out their D.
Liljegren sends it off target. Back for Riley.
It's got to be exhausting being a Leaf forward. Like, I know they make a lot of money and they play with a lot of skill.
The Leafs are going to get a power play.
But they have to outscore their problems every game. Did Luke Schenn just take a penalty there? He certainly did. As the Leafs head to the power play here. We're going to throw to break, but when we come back, Luke Schenn giving the Leafs a power play. I'm Steve Dangle with Watch the Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. We'll be right back. Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that the Leafs began the third period up 4-3. They are now losing 5-4. It's bad. But we've got a lot more hockey left. A lot. Last week we had a 17-goal game. We're up to 9 right now. That means we have 8 left. Math. 8 to go. How will they be divvied up? Leafs could lose 13-4 or win 12-5. I'm not good enough at math to do these quickly.
It is. Leafs go to their second power play. Both teams have power play goals.
10-7 is still possible. Leafs have a power play here. Luke Schenn, secret agent, putting the puck over the glass.
Tavares battling for the puck, but Tyler Mott is
when the Leafs drafted him, I don't even know if that was a penalty. 5th overall pick in 2008.
Penalty killers and the power play right off the draw, battling for that loose puck. You had 4 penalty killers deep in the corner to make sure they won that puck back.
Leafs looking to gain the zone. Oh my goodness. Unreal play from everyone involved there.
Some adjustments on the power
Great
play
entry. 40 seconds down here on this power play, but the Leafs sustained pressure here. Canucks real aggressive. Not letting the Leafs breathe at all, especially at the point. Here comes Matthews. Shoots! He's looking for that hat trick. He's hungry. Boom! And the Canucks. Not quite a 2-on-1. No, but a 2-on-1 enough. This is a scramble here. Leafs have numbers. This is wide open opportunity here. Mitch Marner to William Nylander shoots. Rebound. Big rebound. Who's there?
Now Marner will settle things down to Matthews. 40 seconds left.
Matthews chilling. 40 seconds to work here. Marner gets it over to TJ Brodie. Marner looking to change as the puck goes into the crowd. Leafs PP2 is going to get out there. 8:30 to go in regulation. The Leafs need to tie this here. Matthews, great stick lift on Pettersson. Marner feeds Willie. Oh, man. You never want to put yourself in a position where you need a goal against an elite goalie. He scored 4 on Thatcher Demko.
Both the first and second power plays scored for Toronto in Vancouver. Ilya Mikheyev, Engvall's with speed. He'll whip that high and wide, and the ricochet played by Hughes back down.
Oh boy, both Mott and Miller put their head up. Hughes didn't realize that they just chips that. They got a 2-on-1 going back the other way.
There's Brodie to Spezza. Jason Spezza to the outside on Tyler Myers.
I was back. No, I was gone. Now I'm back. And the Canucks kill that off. Leafs now with 7:45 to tie this game here.
That power play chance to tie it.
Leafs come close, but not close enough. Matthews, all over that mouth guard.
Comes to the middle, get a little check. You got the short gloves. There's always a little area between your elbow pad and the top of your glove that doesn't have to look like much of a slash. It can be problems.
Leafs are 19-4-3 when Matthews scores this season. I'm surprised that's not just their record. Like, what are you talking about? Does he not score every game? I know he didn't score last game. Shut up. He's got 2 tonight. He made up for it.
The second try gets it out. Simmons for Camp, and here's Wayne Simmons trying to center it. Comes back to Hall at the line with Dermott. Justin Hall shot with traffic in front as Simmons parked their net front, trying to create a disturbance. Wayne Simmons,
the Canucks are really getting into a shell a little bit here. The Leafs can take advantage. Will they? And if they're able to get a chance, will it beat Thatcher Demko? That is the question for the remaining 7 minutes of regulation here. Kerfoot. Again, the Leafs need a goal. Sheldon Keefe relying on the veterans. Although I think Robertson is going to be up here with Tavares and Nylander. Kerfoot was a part of that last shift. There he is. I was about to say, how do you take the kid out of the game? He's got a goal. What are you doing?
Good screen in front. We've seen goals with that kind of formula. Get it through with traffic. Goaltenders are having a hard time.
Yep, shots 28-27 has not been an easy night for the netminders. Nick Robertson comes out.
We're approaching shot attempt number 100.
Roberts is going to take
no, we're not. 110. No, we're not. I don't know math. Screw it. 112. It was 60-52, right?
Great pass. Marner's in.
This is why I'm not on TV, folks. I'm good enough for YouTube.
Kept in at the line by Brodie, and it's deflected in front.
What is that? What is that? Shoving Michael Bunting right into Demko. It's not interference. It's just nothing then. That's just nothing. Don't worry. It's just nothing. It's just nothing.
Here's Brodie sending it back in. Marner goes after it, following up his bunting.
This is why I keep asking for the Leafs to get tougher for the playoffs. As bad as the officiating is consistently all the time, in the playoffs, it somehow gets worse. Even playoffs, even officiating finds its playoff form.
Morgan Riley through a crowd going up high, hit him right underneath the mask, and as I said, I think
that was OEL. Amazing hold there by Brodie. Look at this! That's exactly... Is that not exactly what they were trying to get rid of at the beginning of the season? But it's bunting. But it's bunting.
As you try to take away the eyes of Demko and look for a deflection in front.
If you're a ref, is coffee not free at Scotiabank?
And the Leafs will try and grind them down with Spezza taking this face.
What's their email? Who is it? What's their email? I'll give him $5. You get whatever you want. You can probably even get a muffin. Wake up. Horrible. Just over 5 minutes to go here in the third period. And this is a big bunch of bad. But the Canucks going for a change. That's a big bunch of good. Liljegren can't get it to Riley, though.
Went right through and
Leafs still not out of trouble. Still not out of trouble.
Now Nylander
That's
ahead for
nothing.
Tavares.
That behind the play is nothing, too. Don't worry. It's
Back
nothing.
into the Vancouver zone for the captain. And David Camp couldn't control it. Labushkin across for Dermott. Trying to sidestep the checking of
Shifty
Lemico.
move by Dermott.
Dermott
Just over 4.5 to go here.
Kingston Frontenac, Lemico played it along, but it's the Leafs that get it back. Dermott. One-timer,
Boosh!
Right
Oh, God, I wanted that so bad.
Cleared by Vancouver.
Good job, Demko.
A one-timer clap bomb from Boosh to tie it. Like, come on.
Once the shot came.
By the way, we all barely know this man as Leaf fans, but you can't tell me the nickname Boosh isn't fun as hell.
Trying to twist away from Hamonic in front.
Oh!
Knocked to the line, off the stick of Horvat, but the Leafs
holding on to the puck. They're certainly getting their chances. Engvall dancing. I've really liked his game tonight.
Highmore off the boards, but not out.
Just under 4 minutes to go here. Leafs still need a goal to tie.
Hall goes to the front of the net.
Justin Hall down low. He's coming back up. Matthews hunting like a shark. Marner out there. One-timer. Goes wide. I wonder if the Leafs consider pulling Campbell with all this pressure. Or maybe they don't risk it. There's Bunting. Open season on him. Marner! What a move! That's nothing. Don't worry about it. That's nothing. Matthews! Oh! Demko! The demigod. With the stop. He's been so good tonight. Jeez, he looks exhausted. 3 minutes to go here in the third, and he will cover it up for a whistle. No wonder he's exhausted. He's facing the Leafs offense, and he's getting players hurled into him by his own defenders, which is fine and allowed, by the way. It's allowed. It's fine. Watch this. Oh. Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends that the Leafs have mere moments to tie this game up. That or they lose. They could tie it up and still lose. On Wayne Simmons' 1,000th game night, to blow a third period lead and lose. Nope, that won't stand. To let a 2-goal effort go to waste from Austin Matthews. That won't stand. To waste Nick Robertson's first career NHL goal in the regular season. Not good enough. You got to win this game. You got to come back and you got to win this game. It's been an entertaining game. Fans at this game have gotten their money's worth. You couldn't say that about the previous game against Buffalo. I played hockey with a guy last night who was at that game, and he said it was the worst money he's ever spent. Keep in mind, this same guy flew to the West Coast this season to watch the Leafs play. How did it go? It didn't, because they paused the season due to COVID. Yeah, it was in December. He had it booked for a long time, so he's like, well, I'm going to go. Hope it works. It didn't. Shout out my Liney if he's watching. Oh boy. Toronto Maple Leafs, man. Always an adventure. Always an adventure. We got over 8,000 people watching this right now. Presumably to see my extraordinarily happy reaction when they tie it. Right? That's why you guys watch me, right? Oh, Steve. He's very happy about everything. Because the Leafs, they always give him so much to cheer about. Tavares with the face-off win.
Nylander out there.
3 minutes to go and an empty net.
Well, the power play unit clearly
The Leafs have done a good job hemming the Canucks in their own zone. I don't hate this early goalie pull.
Play alignment to start as it comes back to Nylander and Riley.
Will it work? Well, I guess we'll see. But I like the idea. Marner is... You can just do whatever you want, man. You can just do whatever you want. Riley whiffs on it, but gets enough of it. The Canucks... Oh!
Knocked down. Jason's falling.
Okay. If Bunting gets called for that, I'm going to lose my mind.
Kicked it loose for Pearson, and Matthews was there to stop that.
Listen, if the Ekman-Larsson thing on Bunting a couple minutes ago wasn't called, why would that get called? Someone riddle me that. 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Uh-oh. Although this game may be done in a hurry. Morgan, in a hurry. Riley. Keeping the Leafs in this. Matthews, over. Demko stops it. And if you're Sheldon Keefe, do you use a timeout here? How do you go to another unit? Still just under 2 minutes to go, though. That's tough. That's real tough. You got the ozone draw.
Myers getting across, trying to get a stick in there as Tavares loses it, and Demko able
and you
to
got
hold
your
on.
Juiced unit out there.
I'm surprised that.
Yeah, he's calling a timeout.
Here. Yeah, finally take it now.
Sheldon Keefe gets made fun of for his timeout decisions. That's the right decision.
3 minutes to pull your goal.
Absolutely.
Your team did a good job of keeping the
I saw Nick Robertson on the ice. Who? I want to know what this unit is.
That unit has been able to control the puck and give the Vancouver.
It looks like basically the second power play unit. That was Spezza. Look for him to shoot. Nylander. Look for him to shoot. Robertson. Look for him to shoot. Engvall.
Factor again, particularly
he's there.
Since Vancouver took the lead.
You know, it's all about timing too. Games
that's mean. He's actually had a very good game.
On, but when the
he can shoot it. He can shoot it. I think he'd probably pass. And I didn't see if that was Brody on. It would probably be Sandin, but unfortunately he's not in this game because he's ill.
He's 3-0 in his last 3 road games, and he's trying to make it 4 here and make it a nice flight.
73 shot attempts for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Shots 12-5 for the Leafs in this period. Which is hilarious because they began the period with the lead. You would think that shot total would imply that they still have it. They don't. A minute 51 to go. Riley out there. Vancouver up 5-4. Leafs looking to tie. The big boys on the ice. Spezza out there too.
Morgan Riley back to Matthews. Centering pass denied. It'll come back to Matthews. Down low, Tavares.
A good use of a timeout from Sheldon Keefe. We'll see if it pays off.
Miller can't clear.
Willie holds it. Oh! Matthews had the one-timer for the hat trick and the tie. Whoa. Oh. Just under 90 seconds to go here. Tavares fishes it out of the corner. Matthews bottles it. Oh! Marner almost shoves it across the line. Tavares in front.
Matthews.
70 seconds to go. Matthews across. Nylander. Leafs moving the puck very well.
Matthews circles back, fires and drills that high.
This is really the Canucks holding on with a hope and a prayer here.
Now Marner.
The Leafs offense has thrown everything they can at the Canucks tonight. I wouldn't say that was... Oh! What a stop from Demko.
Looking for the tying goal.
Matthews has 2 goals tonight. He could easily have 8. But with 53.4 seconds to go. Oh, what an effort from Tanner Pearson. With 53.4 seconds to go, the Leafs still looking for the equalizer. Demko robbing Marner there on that replay. This was that pass in front. Tavares to Matthews. Oh, 2 grade A scoring chances to tie. Big boy still out there. Willie's, oh boy. I didn't think that was going to get through. The clock was weird there. Did anyone? What's going on with the clock? Matthews stopped. Says there's 40 seconds to go. I keep looking up and it was stalling. That was weird, right? 30 seconds to go. Leafs still looking to tie. Can they even hold the zone here, though? They can't. No icing. Will the Leafs be able to protect the net even? They can't.
Tyler Mott will clinch it for Vancouver.
Tyler Mott, I believe it was, with the empty netter. Thatcher Demko
What a sequence of events
has
here.
faced 36 shots
6 on 5,
tonight.
All kinds of chances, and Demko going side to side.
The attempts have got to be around 80 at this point, maybe higher.
To get his body square, not allow Matthews anything. No panic at all for Pedersen.
The Toronto Maple Leafs, a really entertaining game. You definitely can't say that about the previous night against the Buffalo Sabres. Really entertaining game, but man, oh man, for a team that's expected to do a lot based on where they are in the standings, not the crest they wear, they cannot defend their way out of a wet paper bag. Yes, they got injuries. Yes, they got illnesses. Yes, they got enormous problems keeping the puck out of their own net. They can score. They can score. They're a fun team to watch. No lead is safe against the Toronto Maple Leafs, but no lead is safe with them either. Heart attack hockey. And as of late,
another difficult night for the Maple Leaf goaltending.
Results may
another
vary.
Great night for Demko.
Thatcher Demko, superhuman. The demigod, eating the Leafs alive again. He was the biggest reason why the Canucks won last time. Can't remember the final score. I just remembered that I called the LFR video demigod. That'll be, I'll be doing that tonight as well. Great player. Great player. Can I take back what I said? Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. They're fine. Oh, boy. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I know I did. You never know. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're back next time. I do. I really do hope you're back next time because we have fun here. Whether they win or lose, we have fun, and I hope you have fun. That's what we try to do every time. That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Defense wins you championships is probably a bit of a lie, but I think there's some truth there.